Lights, camera, biceps, ditch. Let's watch this movie and flex our shit. Movie buff, flexing real hard, watching badass stuff. Movie buff. We don't watch no movies that suck, big nuts. Movie buff. Damn, I just ripped my shirt cause I flex too much. Movie buff. Open up the backpack full of snacks, let's relax. Pop the movie and then pass the peanut butter cups.
What up, guys? This is Adam here with Movie Buffs, and joining me today is Yahida. What's up, Yahida?
Doing pretty good today.
We're gonna be watching the movie from 1997, the John Travolta and Nicolas Cage action classic, Face Off. Yahida, have you seen Face Off before?
I saw it probably like 10 years ago. So I remember I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this movie. I love Nicolas Cage, but it's kind of like I'm gonna be rewatching it because I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a pretty badass movie. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the play button on this bitch right now. I got my freaking Reese's. I got my snackage. I'm ready to go on this movie.
I only have juice because I ate a lot today. I'm pretty full. So fun fact, I love Nicolas Cage. He's one of my favorite actors.
Really?
Yes.
What is your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
I love the one where he wins that lottery ticket. The lottery?
Yeah, I think it's called It Could Happen to You.
Yes, I do love that movie.
With the cop and the waitress?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good movie for sure.
Yes, I like that.
Nicolas Cage is pretty badass. Like, I mean, he has a huge range of movies that he'll do. Like, he's done action movies, he's done romantic comedies, he's done weird thriller movies, he's done kind of like psycho horror movies, he's done cartoons, he's done war movies. I mean, and he'll even go and do like really shitty fucking, B, C level, straight to DVD, straight to fucking streaming type movies as well.
Yes, he has.
And it's weird too, because he'll do movies that go straight to stream or whatever, and you would think that that means that, oh, his career is at its end, therefore he is doing these shitty low budget nothing movies, right? But then he'll just come and do like a real, Hollywood movie as well, like the Spider-Man noir show or like the fucking whatever, right?
Yes.
It's weird. Like he like jumps back and forth. It's almost as if he has no filter and he'll just do whatever they put in front of him.
He does it for the art of it, the skill.
I don't even know if it's the art. Either he's like bored or he just needs money or something. I don't know. But he's like skilled at the same time.
Yes, he is. Another fun fact is that when I went to New Orleans, I did a ghost tour, and one of the ghost settings was a house that he owned for many years.
Nicolas Cage?
Yep. So I went to his house one time. He wasn't living there anymore. The state had taken it away from him, but I was like, wow, this is so cool.
Dang, so the movie starts off with Nicolas Cage. His character, what's his name?
Troy?
Castor Troy.
Castor Troy.
Yeah, Castor Troy. He fucking tries to kill Sean Archer, played by John Travolta. And he does hit him, but he also hits his son, killing his son. And that starts like the really, huge vendetta feud between the two of them for sure.
I am going to say I love his mustache.
You like that nasty ass mustache?
I like it on Nicolas Cage. He makes it work.
It's a disgusting mustache. It's gross.
I love it.
Unless you're a super trooper or Don Fry, you shouldn't be rocking that kind of mustache. It's gross. Tom Selleck, he can pull it off because he's basically like the skinny Don Fry. But yeah, no mustache. What about John Travolta? You like John Travolta?
John Travolta is pretty cool, but he's not Nicolas Cage.
I don't know. He's had some pretty badass movies too.
He has. Don't get me wrong, he has.
I mean, shit. Like he came out with this. He came out with Broken Arrow, which is another John Woo movie. The guy who directed this fucking movie. I mean, if you like his old gay shit like Saturday Night Fever, he did that. Pulp Fiction, Look Who's Talking.
That's right, Pulp Fiction. I do remember.
I mean, He's done some cool stuff.
And Grease.
I don't like musicals.
It's a good movie.
I don't watch musicals.
It's a good movie.
I've seen a small handful of musicals in my life, and I am filled to my brim with musicals. I don't need to watch any more. I don't need to subject myself to any more ever in the history of my life. So this movie, throughout the podcast, I'm gonna kind of dive into the history of the making of this movie. Yahida's gonna spit some badass facts. But I'm gonna start. So, like, in the summer of 1990, specifically around the Independence Day or Memorial Day weekend, there were two UCLA film school graduates who had spent years critiquing each other's scripts. Finally, they decided to write one together. Mike Werb and Michael Colery. They were looking at the marketplace and seeing big money for high concept action specs in the post Die Hard era. Shane Black had just scored a massive payday. Studios were hungry for the next smart, contained thriller with a memorable villain. The two Mikes wanted a piece of that pie, and more practically, they wanted to pay off some student loans. They started with the prison story. Colery had done library research on the 1971 Attica prison riot. Both men loved the 1949 James Cagney film White Heat. I've never seen that shit. Particularly the sequence in which an undercover federal agent shares a cell with a psychotic gangster. The initial concept was a lawman going undercover inside a prison only for the criminal world to somehow seize control of the lawman's life on the outside. So you can already kind of see like the parallels between that and this movie.
Yeah.
They needed a mechanism for the identity switch that felt fresh. Identical twins were played out. Voodoo felt cheap. Then Werb remembered a story about a friend of a friend who had been in a severe hang gliding accident. Surgeons had been forced to remove the man's entire face, reconstruct the bones and tissue underneath, and then sew the face back on. So if real medicine could already take a face off and put it back on, then why not put someone else's face on instead? That's what they were thinking. That became the hook. They set the story roughly 100 years in the future so the technology would feel plausible. So this was supposed to be a futuristic movie, you know? I mean, I don't know if it was going to look, you know, like maybe RoboCop-esque, or maybe it was going to look more like the world was going to look more like what the hell is that goddamn movie with Harrison Ford? Why am I having trouble thinking of it? But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was going to look a little Minority Report. I don't know. Okay, but it felt it was going to be in the future. Early drafts were wildly sci-fi: flying cars, trained chimpanzee labor forces, an organ bank that operated like a regular bank, the Golden Gate Bridge turned into a homeless fortress, and a high-tech prison where inmates wore massive magnetic boots that could lock them to the floor. Or in one version, the ceiling at the flip of a switch. So it looks like that part actually got brought into this movie because they did the magnetic boots in the floating prison they had here.
Oh, okay, yes, the air one.
Yeah, the emotional spine that would survive every later rewrite was already present. An obsessed FBI agent, Sean Archer, whose young son had been killed by a flamboyant terrorist, Castor Troy. A desperate plan to infiltrate Troy's world by surgically stealing his face. Troy waking from a coma, forcing the reverse surgery, and walking away with Archer's identity, family, and life. Once they locked in the death of the son as Archer's driving obsession, the entire structure came together in about 5 days of scene carting. The first draft took roughly 3 months.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So right now we see Castor Troy, and just a little while ago he was in a priest outfit.
Oh yeah, that's such a ridiculous scene. He's like fucking headbanging and like singing and dancing, and then he goes up and grabs a girl's ass. It's like, dude, it's like way fucking over the top.
It's way over the top, and the studio had actually said, no, we can't do this. This is borderline like blasphemy. But John Woo was like, excuse me, I need this in the film. So he kind of like basically forced them to just put it in there. But the studio didn't want to. They're like, no, we can't. It's scandalous. But John was like, nope, I gotta have it.
The studio is so weird, you know, like they'll want the craziest shit and then they'll say no to the, you know, like the most random shit as
Yeah.
well. They're just all over the place. Doesn't make
They
any
are.
sense. I think I had heard you say at one point that his brother Pollux, or maybe I read it, that apparently like Mark Wahlberg was looked at for
Yes.
that role.
But he turned it down.
Good, because Castor is a little bitch in this movie.
And who plays Castor in this?
I don't really know who that actor is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him in a movie or two, but I don't really know who that dude is. For sure, not by name.
Okay. Okay.
But, you know, he's all like kind of simpleton, autistic, fucking tie my shoes brother sort of
Oh,
bullshit. Like,
wow.
who the hell wants to play that?
He's very fashionable, Castor Troy. I love his glasses. I love his outfit. I love the way he walks. I love his accessories. His pistols, the gold pistols.
Yeah.
And they have little accents of dragons on them.
Do they really?
Yeah, and Nicholas had actually requested that because in the studio had pushed first, like, we're just going to give him regular basic black pistols. But he was like, no. Castor is so cool. Like, he argued, he was like, he has to have gold pistols. Like, you can't have it any other way. And then Nicholas was like, and while you're on it, carve some or put some dragons on the designs, and also to represent Nicholas's Chinese zodiac. So he's a dragon because he
Oh.
wanted it to represent that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought was cool. And
Yeah.
Chinese, if you know Chinese zodiacs, that's pretty
I don't
interesting.
think I know my Chinese zodiac. Or
I
maybe
looked it up.
Is it the year of the rat?
It's the year of the rabbit.
The rabbit? Oh.
Yes, I'm the snake. So I was like, wow.
That'd be pretty cool to have some fucking gold-plated guns.
Yeah, it would be. They do look. I mean, I've never really handled guns before, but they look really heavy. That's always my concern. Is like, you have to be a little bit strong to handle them.
It kind of just depends on the gun, you know, like so guns themselves are kind of heavy compared to, let's say, if you picked up like a plastic gun or whatever. But I mean, have you ever picked up like a BB gun, handgun?
Yeah.
Those are made to feel kind of heavy. They're weighted because they're made to kind of feel like a real gun, so they don't really actually weigh that much heavier than those. But some of the bigger ones might.
Okay.
Now, the thing that is strong about them is when you shoot them, they kick. Guns
okay.
kick. And some guns don't kick that hard. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but some kick very hard. It just kind of just depends on how big of the bullet is or whatever, you know, the caliber or some bullshit like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so like I was watching a video the other day where, you know, there's a bunch of videos of gun enthusiasts on Facebook, and one of them, he was testing out like some of the most powerful guns in existence, and he had Brian Shaw, who is a former strongman champion.
Oh yes, I know that.
Yeah, and I saw the one. He also did one with Eddie Hall, who's another strongman champion.
Yeah, Eddie
But-
Hall's pretty.
Yeah, but Brian Shaw is even bigger than Eddie Hall. And he had him on there, and he was having him shoot the guns. And he was able to shoot all of them. He was able to handle all of them. But it's crazy because like the slow motion technology that they use, the slow-mo cams that they were using whenever he was firing the gun, you'd see the gun kick back, and you'd see a ripple effect going through his arm all the way into his shoulder and then kicking the shoulder back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy how powerful the kickback is. Like you see it just go through the entire arm into the shoulder. It did it so hard. One of the big ass rifles that they were using was kicking so hard that it was making one of the guys like foot come off the ground.
Oh whoa.
Yeah.
And these are not small guys; they're big guys.
Yeah, they're big dudes.
Big guys. Big boys.
There's a funny video floating around, like it's an old school YouTube video. I mean it's still on YouTube, but like it's been there since like the early days of YouTube. Of I don't know, I don't know if he's an Iraqi, an Iranian, I don't know, but he's like a towelhead, right? So he's like the guy in the big long robes, and he's shooting a big ass rifle. I forget, I don't know if it's a 50 cal or what, but it kicks so hard that it sends him flying backwards.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that shit.
So looking at these, I mean, it's just the beginning of the movie, but Nicolas Cage has already been on a plane and he threw that woman off of the plane. He's such a good actor, but would you ever think that he's terrified of heights? Does that cross your mind? It never would cross my mind until I read it.
That doesn't really cross my mind with most actors, especially actors who are going to be in action movies.
Yeah.
Because at some point or another, you're going to be hanging off of something.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be jumping off of something. You're going to be flying off of something. You know, you're going to be doing some dangerous ass shit. Now, of course, actors are going to use stunt doubles, but there's going to be times where they have to use the actor in some capacity in a slightly dangerous scenario or dangerous environment, like heights.
Yeah.
But it's always kind of funny to figure out like which actors are afraid of heights.
Yes, but you would never tell because he's such a good actor. And one thing that I had learned was there was a part, I can't remember what scene it was. It was probably the boat scene towards the end. But Nicolas said that it was one of his scariest days of his entire life filming that scene.
Really?
The jumping scene. And then apart from that, there was some type of disagreement with his stunt double or stuntman, where they got into a disagreement, and basically Nicolas was like, no, I can do this. I got this. And on a whim, he climbed a 30-foot scaffolding structure, and he just said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to jump off to this into like some mats. And John Woo was like, oh my gosh, hold on. And he had like run to his cameras to catch the scene.
Oh, shit.
So it was just like unplanned. So I thought that was hilarious.
He probably like pumped himself up.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm just gonna fucking do this. I'm not gonna wait for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait for anybody to tell me. Like, I got myself in the zone right now. Time to fucking do it.
Which I can relate to. I'm kind of a squeamish, like a scaredy cat when it comes to most things. But when I get something in my head, I'm like, okay, do it now. Because if not, you're gonna overthink it and not do it at all.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of heights. Like, I mean, I don't really. I never really find myself in high situations, but if I have to climb like a really fucking tall ladder, like a 20-foot ladder or something, I find myself getting pretty nervous at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, damn, this is kind of scary. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking fall right now.
It is. All of a sudden your body starts shaking and you're like, oh my gosh, I can fall to my death.
You know, as cool as it looks when they're shooting two guns like that, and it does look very cool, he would probably not fucking miss as much if he would just shoot one gun with two hands instead of two guns with one hand.
But he can't because he's Casper Troy. He has to use two guns. He's ambidextrous. He's Mr. Cool Man. So one thing about this is that in the entire movie, they physically only interact about 4 times in the entire movie. That's
Yeah. So they interact in the beginning, obviously. Then I bet, okay, the other one is when Nicolas Cage is, as the good guy, is in jail, and John Travolta is the bad guy at that point, and he comes and he kind of like shows him that, hey, I have your face now. Okay, so there's that point. Then they do another gun shootout at Castor's apartment with his sister. That's when not his sister, but his
daughter?
the chick that he has a kid with, his woman.
Okay.
You know, he's got a chick that he has a son with. And then that chick lives with her brother. But anyway, the FBI raid that place and they have a shootout. So then they come head to head again.
Okay.
And then of course the final battle.
Yeah. Which is crazy because it's such a long movie.
You know what's kind of cool? If there are some actors who might pass on a movie if, let's say, they're used to playing heroes and somebody wants them to play a bad guy, they'll be like, oh no, I don't want to play that movie because I don't want to be a bad guy.
Right.
You know, like some guys don't like being bad guys.
Yeah, they don't.
You know, they don't like that they're going to die at the end. They don't like that they're going to do bad stuff. You know, like maybe they're trying to keep their image of a good guy going on, right? And I don't remember if either one of them had an issue. I think they might have. One of them might have kind of had an issue with either being the bad guy or maybe they wanted to be the bad guy and they wanted to be the good guy. But once both of them found out that they were going to be able to spend time as both the good guy and the bad guy in the movie, then there were no issues.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter because they both get to be the good guy and they both get to be the bad guy, which is pretty badass. I don't know if there's a whole lot of movies out there where the actors can claim that, you know, where I got to be the good guy and the bad guy.
Right? Both villain and protagonist, hero and the anti-hero.
What do you think? So like so John Travolta, he just got home and he finally captured Nicolas Cage, right? And he gets home and his crazy daughter is all looking like a goth whore or whatever, and his wife's there. What do you think of his wife?
His wife seems quite pleasant. I mean, but this is just first interaction. She seems quite plain. I don't know how old John Travolta is supposed to be in this movie, but she looks a little bit on the older side.
She does, right?
Right.
I
A
remember
little bit older.
I remember watching this movie and always thinking to myself that she looks way older than him.
And I don't know how John Travolta old is supposed to be, but maybe it's the hairstyle and the clothes. That could be it.
Yeah, it is a very fucking Betty White-ish type hairstyle or something.
It is Betty White, yeah. She's very pretty, but it's just doesn't look quite young.
I guess like if she were to have like, long, straight, flowing hair, I bet it would make her look a whole lot younger. And then of course the clothes that she's wearing, it's very 90s businesswoman or whatever.
Yes.
Horrible attire.
Very modest.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's not too bad.
It's fucking bullshit.
So John Travolta and Nicolas Cage had actually spent 2 entire weeks together before filming to get to know each other's in different ways. Their mannerisms, their body language, the way that they laugh, they stand, how they react to things. So it's kind of fun thinking about that because, I mean...
They should have let each other date each other's girlfriends at the time. That's what they should have done.
So it's very interesting because in my head, when I think of that, I just think they're just having like a 2-week-long slumber party, nonstop.
Pillow fight.
Yeah, pillow fights, and these cute little pajamas.
Telling each other their deepest, darkest secrets.
Basically. And I love that. I'm like, God, I wish I could have seen that. I would love to know about how that went.
So January 16th, 1991, the script goes out into a war. By early 1991, the polished spec was ready. Werb's agents planned to send it out January 16th. That same day, Operation Desert Storm began. Hollywood's attention was elsewhere. The phones that were supposed to ring stayed silent. When the writers finally checked in, the agent essentially yelled that the country was at war. Interest eventually trickled in. An executive working under producer Joel Silver, I guess he produced Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
Wow.
Which are 2 huge fucking action movies, convinced Warner Bros. To option the script for 18 months for a little over $100,000. Some accounts put the figure at $125,000, with Silver's company dipping into discretionary funds to make it happen. The writers had sold their first collaboration. It would take another 6 years for it to actually reach the screen.
Oh, wow.
And I guess I'm not 100% sure how it works in the lingo of stuff like that, but when they're saying that they optioned the script, I guess maybe means they claimed it for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Like they leased it basically. Like we have the rights to this for X amount of months or X amount of years, and then if we don't use it, it can go back out and somebody else can have it.
Gotcha.
But it's crazy how long scripts can float out there before finally being read and then picked up and actually created.
Oh yeah.
Because you could have somebody read the script and be like, "Oh man, this is good. I like this," and they pass it along to the producers and it's like, we should make this film, and maybe they even want to make it, but for whatever reason, one reason or another, or 100 different reasons, that shit just gets pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and they just can't make it. Sometimes it's random ass shit like this. A war was going on and, I guess their attention was elsewhere. I do remember a period of time too, like, whenever wars would go on, war movies were really popular. Remember there was like a slew of fucking war movies after 9/11. You remember that? There were so many military type movies, kind of push patriotism and shit like that.
Yeah. The zeitgeist. Spirit of the time.
There was just there was too many for me to watch, but I just remember there being a fuckload of them, and I couldn't keep up with all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know, and then sometimes movies won't get made because whatever effects are required to make that movie at the time, the technology doesn't exist.
That's true.
So they have to wait. They have to wait until the technology gets created somewhere down the line in the future.
That's true.
Which is pretty badass. That's kind of badass when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh man, we're super ambitious, but the technology just isn't here yet. So we're going to sit on this bitch until it does come. And then eventually it does, which is awesome.
Patience. Okay, Adam, so I'm going to ask you a question.
Hit me.
We're looking at Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, and obviously they're an amazing dynamic.
Yes.
But could you imagine another duo?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I remember you telling me some of the different names that were floating around for the duo. Why don't you go ahead and give us some of those?
Okay, so the first duo that the studio had originally wanted to play the lead roles were Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone.
I'm gonna, you know what? Okay, when you throw them out to me, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna rate them. Let's say 1 out of 5. 5 being, oh man, that's badass. It would have worked really well. 1 being like, no way in hell. That sounds like shit. You know, you might as well cast fucking Whoopi Goldberg and Ellen DeGeneres. You know, like might as well just do that bullshit. Okay, Arnold and Stallone. That would have been, as much as I fucking love both of them, I'm gonna say it might have been like a 3, maybe even a 2.5, just because Arnold's way fucking bigger than Stallone.
Yes.
Like he was way at the time.
Physically,
At the
yes.
time, he was just way bigger. He was taller. He was more massive. You know, and then the accents. You know, like they sound 100% different.
Oh, yeah.
100% different, not just a little different, but 100% different. You know, you got Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa, and then you got fucking Arnold, and it's, you know, it's like completely different. So yeah, 2.5 for that casting choice.
2.5. I have to agree. I do love Arnold and Swart. Of course, they go hand in hand. You give them together, but not for this. Okay, so then we have Michael Douglas and Harrison Ford.
Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford. I'm gonna give them a 3, and this is why. Like, I actually think it's a better mashup as far as the likeness of the actors, and I bet they probably would have had some pretty good chemistry on screen. But I don't care for them as action stars. I really don't. Like, yeah, Harrison Ford has done, you know, he did Star Wars and he did Indiana Jones, you know, and yeah, that's cool and all like that. But overall, I don't look at him as an action star. I just don't. Michael Douglas, I look at him as even less of a fucking action star. I don't care what he's come out in. He's not an action star to me. And this is a pure action movie, especially since they ended up having John Woo direct it, who is an action director, you know? So like, no, I don't want to see the two of them, but would they have had chemistry and would it have worked with them? Yeah, probably. As far as like it being realistic. But it would have, I think it would have had to tone down what type of action movie it was. It couldn't have been over the top like this movie. Like, this movie is over the top action, you know, where it would have probably had to be more kind of like a serious type action, like maybe The Fugitive,
Okay.
you know, U.S. Marshals, fucking The Negotiator, something like that. A little bit more toned down, not like this. This is more like on Bad Boys level.
Right.
Right? Like this,
yes.
this is crazier.
I can see that, yeah. All right. Bruce Willis and Alec Baldwin.
Bruce Willis and Alec Baldwin would actually be pretty good. I'm actually going to give that maybe like a 4 or 4.5. The only reason I won't go 5 is because I think Alec Baldwin would be the inferior person on screen. Like, I don't think he would be able to measure up to Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, I think, would have put on a better performance. I think he would have brought more fans. He had the bigger name. I mean, Alec Baldwin was kind of big, but like, if you put Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, and Alec Baldwin in a room and you say, which one doesn't belong? Everybody's going to pick Alec Baldwin because he's not as cool and he's not as big time as them.
Yeah.
So he would have been like the weak link.
Yeah.
But as far as like their acting ability and whether or not it would have worked swapping them, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Denzel Washington and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Those two.
It
Yeah.
probably would have worked, you know, because like
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking like old Denzel and young Wesley Snipes, because that's how I have them in my head permanently. I have kind of like an older Denzel, you know, from what the fuck is that goddamn one movie that he
Equalizer?
The Equalizer,
Yeah.
that kind of Denzel, right? And then I have Blade in my head.
Oh,
But
yeah.
young Denzel, you know, young Denzel from like Hurricane and Fallen and stuff like that. And I mean, he's a really great actor. Wesley Snipes is actually a damn good actor. He's
He is.
underrated as an actor. A lot of
He
people
is.
look at him as an action star. He's not just an action star. He is a solid actor. The two of them actually would have done really, really well. I think it would have started as, I mean, this has to be obvious, but it would have started as Denzel being Sean Archer and Wesley Snipes being Castor Troy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, and then
I
they
can
would
see
have
that.
swapped later
For
on.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure, yes. All right, we're going to the last two: Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
I mean, yeah, they're like great actors and all, but they're fucking old.
That's not what I agree.
So I don't want to watch these
Yeah.
two old ass men, you know, like doing
No.
action. They kind of pulled it off in Heat. They did. But honestly, I think they were using fucking stunt doubles every time those two were sprinting across the screen. And Heat is badass, but Heat is more of a more serious action movie. Like it's like almost drama first, action second. Whereas this is 98% action.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then like a little bit of like flair drama in there. It's
Right.
But this is like crazy action.
Oh yeah, and then
I don't like them.
the last one, well, that I wrote down, which I did not like. I understand why they put them together, but I was like, no, physically they're completely opposites. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
That would have been one of the worst. That's a one. That's a one.
Right?
That's worse than if they were to do Arnold and Danny DeVito. Like Arnold and Danny DeVito would have been a better fucking mashup than Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
Arnold and Danny DeVito would have been bad, but I would have loved to see it because I love twins.
Face Off. Hey, but didn't you tell me that they also kind of pitched Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson? Or
Yes,
is that
there was so many pairs that it was Kurt Russell, Mel Gibson, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. There was so many.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck? I wouldn't have liked it because then they were still pretty boys in the 90s. I wouldn't have liked it. But them now, it would work. And then back then, Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson, I actually think that's the best pairing outside of Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Yeah,
Like the two of them would rock that shit.
I can see that.
I really think they would have rocked that shit hard.
For sure.
They might have even, you never know, they might have even done a better job. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Like Nicolas Cage is crazy, but like he's crazy cool, but sometimes he's like overly crazy, you know, like worse than like, I don't know, the Joker or something like that.
He is, and now that you say that, I did read a while ago that a lot of his inspiration comes from this silent film called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is a 1920s silent film. And you've never seen it.
I can't stand
I know
silent
you've never
films.
seen it, but I've seen that film and I love it. It's one of the first official horror films. And of course, because they're silent films, they have to be over the top and use all these facial expressions and
Okay.
their body language. So when I read that, I was like, that makes perfect sense in his acting. He gets a lot of his inspiration from that. I was like, wow.
Might as well get your inspiration from Mr. Bean at that point, because he doesn't talk and he just uses facial expressions all the time.
Mr. Bean is toned down. I love Mr. Bean, but he's definitely a toned down version of that.
So in the movie, we're already to the part to where they've already pitched the idea of swapping their faces because there's a bomb out there and they don't know where it's at and they need to find out. So they need John Travolta to go undercover as Nicolas Cage's character in prison to find out and talk to his brother and find out where the fuck that bomb is, right? So he's about to make it happen. I think this part coming up where they take the faces off and replace them is really fucking cool. And apparently, because I think you told me, the bodies that you see on the table weren't real. It wasn't really them,
No.
which is nuts because at no point did I ever like I usually can tell a fake body. Sometimes it's just blatantly obvious. Like when we were watching Terminator and he's pulling the eye out of his head, you saw a big ass fake Arnold head and I was like, holy shit, that's fake. And then boom, it casts back to a real head. Like you can usually tell. But those fucking fake bodies that they created were amazing.
Yes, because just a few scenes ago when they went to go visit him in the hospital, that was a fake body. See, like, and right here, and also all that chest hair and all the hair on their heads, everything was meticulously put on one by the makeup designers.
That's crazy.
Which I think is phenomenal. I'm like, wow. But they even had him like twitching. They had like little devices where they would twitch. So when he was
see right there, that looks like him.
Twitch. Yeah, it looks like them.
That's fucking nuts.
But now that I read that, I can see that it's a dummy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But it looks super, super good.
All right, 1991 through 1994, development hell at Warner Bros. The Warner Bros. Years were largely unproductive and discouraging. Executives fretted that the prosthetic technology was not advanced enough to sell a face swap, completely missing the point that the same actors would be playing both roles. There were prolonged fights over the scene in which Castor, wearing Archer's face, sleeps with Archer's wife Eve. The writers insisted the emotional core required the villain to invade the hero's most intimate space at the exact moment the hero hits absolute bottom in prison. Mel Gibson, of all people, reportedly defended the beat during development conversations. The studio was also developing Demolition Man, another futuristic cop versus criminal story starring Sylvester Stallone, and the two projects began to feel too similar in the executives' minds. Joel Silver had actually offered the project to John Woo early on, not long after Woo arrived in Hollywood, but the heavy science fiction elements made Woo pass. He later said he did not feel he had learned enough to make a great sci-fi film, and that too much futurism would kill the drama and the humanity. After roughly 2 years of notes and stalled momentum, the option expired around 1994.
Wow. That's
kind of interesting that John Woo would pass making a sci-fi film. You know, like obviously he's made a lot of action films. I haven't seen like his foreign films, like or Asian films or wherever he comes from. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of cool when you get a director who I guess is realistic and humble enough to know his limits.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Top Gun Maverick came out, and that wasn't that long ago, they had asked Ridley Scott to direct Top Gun Maverick because his brother Tony Scott had directed the first Top Gun movie back in the 80s.
Okay.
But Tony Scott was dead. He killed himself. Yeah, he had cancer.
Yeah,
I think he had a incurable type of cancer. I forget which one, prostate or pancreatic, I think. And when he found out that he, was going to die, I guess I think he jumped off a bridge.
Jeez.
Yeah, which sucked because I liked Tony Scott. Tony Scott made some really badass movies. He wasn't quite as good as his brother, but he made really cool action movies that were kind of similar in a way to kind of like Face Off and Broken Arrow. Anyway, they had asked Ridley Scott to direct Top Gun Maverick, but he declined because he didn't think that he was going to have the ability to create action scenes the way that movie needed him.
Okay.
And that's kind of crazy when you think about it, because Ridley Scott is a fucking badass. Like he is a GOAT director. Like he is one of the greatest of all time. And yes, he makes a lot of like serious kind of dramatic movies, but he does have some action in his movies. I mean, of course, there's Gladiator. Gladiator is like one of the biggest ones that he directed. He directed the first Alien movie, so it's not like he's a stranger to action elements. No. But I guess at that time, maybe it was his age, or maybe it's because he hadn't directed an action movie in a long time. I don't know. He was like, nah, I don't think I should do it. So he ended up recommending, I forget the guy's name who ended up directing it, but I do know he was the guy who directed Oblivion, which was that Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, yeah.
That guy. And then that guy went on to direct, not that long ago, that F1 movie with Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's right.
That movie was okay.
Yeah.
But Top Gun Maverick, top tier. That's a badass fucking movie.
That's a good movie. So, and just a scene that passed to, or it just passed right now, but when he wakes up after the facelift, so it's now Sean Archer in Castor Troy's body. He looks in the mirror for the first time. When he kind of like made that weird smile and like kind of laugh, that was impromptu.
Really?
Like, that was not in script.
Improv?
Improv, yes.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage, he just did it and they kept it in the movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think he did some other improvised things as well. But Nicolas just thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. And it worked.
I wonder how much. I'm pretty sure that Nicolas Cage does a fuckload of improv.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much improv John Travolta did. You know?
Oh, that's true. I don't know.
Because right now, like up until this point, he doesn't really have to be too crazy because he's the good guy. He was the good guy. But in a little while, John Travolta's character is going to wake up and he's the bad guy.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So then we get the woo-wee, you're good looking,
Yeah.
you know, like the kind of crazy John Travolta.
Yeah. Which I like. I do like John Travolta when he's a little crazy.
Yeah, John Travolta's the man.
I saw a movie with him where he's like some type of like psycho killer, vengeful, and I thought it was really good because it freaks me out.
Like a bad guy?
Yes, it was a bad guy. I can't remember what it was though.
What happened in the movie?
Like he kidnaps this girl and he has like all these guns.
Really?
It's a newer movie that kind of went straight to DVD or streaming, I should say.
Yeah.
But he was pretty scary.
He's played a bad guy a few times, you know. I mean, like technically he was a bad guy in Pulp Fiction. He wasn't a good guy. Then he played a bad guy in Broken Arrow. Then he plays a bad guy most of the time in this movie. Then he played a bad guy in this Tony Scott movie called Taking of Pelham 123, where he kind of takes over a train.
I do like that movie. Yes.
He was cool in that movie. He was actually really good in that movie. He looked weird as fuck, but he was good.
Yeah, I do like that movie. Another thing that happened was Nicolas was pretty like, both of them, Nicolas and John Travolta, were very like dedicated to their roles. And one thing that Nicolas noticed, he was like, okay, my chest hair pattern has to be kind of similar, almost exact to John Travolta's. So he convinced studio and production, everything, to like one by one put chest hair on his chest to match John Travolta's.
Really?
Which I think is funny.
That's weird.
Yeah. He's just dedicated to his role.
This prison that they're in is pretty badass.
Erewhon?
Yeah, like it's a floating prison, so I guess it's supposed to be kind of like, you know, Alcatraz in a sense, where it's on an island or some shit. So even if they were to escape, they're in the, you know, middle of the sea or whatever, or lake or wherever the fuck they are. But it's got this right here is probably the most, quote, futuristic part of the movie because of the future tech that they use to control the prisoners. They have those big magnetic boots on them.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't think that that's a real thing. I don't think any prisons actually use that type of shit.
I don't think so.
I mean, I've never heard it. I've never, like, you would think that news would get around, that there's there's this fucking crazy prison out there that makes them wear big magnetic boots.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting when you think about it. Like, I mean, why? I guess because it costs a lot of money, but I mean, it'd be like, why don't prisons use more like crazy, like, you know, crazy technology, science technology to control the inmates? You know, I mean, they sort of do when it comes to their weapons. I know they'll do like, they have different crowd control weapons. Like, did you ever watch Longest Yard?
No.
With fucking Adam Sandler?
No.
No? There's this one part where like all the prisoners are starting into a fight or whatever, and Stone Cold Steve Austin throws some sort of like rubber bomb that shoots out little pellets or something, and they all go hiding, and it kind of gets everybody to calm the hell down. I don't know if that's real, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I bet they have shit like that in prisons, but why don't anyone have magnetic boots? That's dope.
They should. It's a good investment, and I don't see why it would be like harmful to the inmates because it controls them. They can make it comfortable. And at the same time, you're lifting weights. You're working on your calves.
Yeah. Although, could you imagine if they were slow to turn them on to control the prisoners, and like one prisoner pushes another prisoner to the ground and he stomps his head with those big bitches on?
I didn't think about that. So that's probably why they don't have it. And also, well, the costume designer Ellen Moroynick, she made over 200 boots for this film. And some were
goddamn.
metal, some were plastic, and the metal ones weighed up to 25 pounds each.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's a lot of goddamn weight. 25 pounds. Fuck that.
Yeah. And the inmates right here, a lot of them were actually real prisoners who had gotten out. They rehired them again,
They helped them escape prison so that they can be in this movie.
basically.
And then they sent them back.
Yes, they spent all their money on that.
Sent them back where they came from.
Yep.
Fucking in the prison movie, there's a random inmate, curly hair and glasses. That's fucking Thomas Jane. He played the Punisher.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He played the Punisher before the MCU.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a pre-MCU Punisher.
Okay.
But yeah, he played the Punisher, and John Travolta came out in that movie
That's
as well.
right. You're telling me that.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't too bad as Punisher. I don't really like the movie that much, me personally. Some people do. It's an okay movie. Like it's nowhere near as good as the movies we get now, the superhero movies we get now. It's pretty low to mid tier or whatever. But he did pretty decent. He played the part okay.
He seems like a good actor. I kind of like him so far in that little section. Did you know Erewhon is actually backwards for nowhere?
Oh really? Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, 1994 through 1996. When the Warner option lapsed, the script attracted interest from New Line, Columbia, and Paramount. Paramount, with studio head Sherry Lansing as a champion, acquired it. Producer David Permit became involved. Critically, Stephen Ruther and Michael Douglas, who had formed Douglas Ruther Productions in May 1994, they came aboard as producers. Douglas read every draft and delivered a keynote that changed the project's trajectory. He told the writers that this was a psychological thriller masquerading as an action film. Write that movie, he said, and they would attract not just movie stars, but great actors. The unique challenge, two actors playing both good and evil without being identical twins. It excited him as both a producer and an actor who had been offered plenty of twin role projects. Under this guidance, the writers stripped away most of the expensive futuristic trappings. The face transplant became a cutting-edge experimental procedure rather than everyday future technology. The magnetic boot prison survived as a residual sci-fi element, but flying cars, chimps, organ banks, and most of the distant future world building were completely gone. Producer Barry Osborne later estimated that removing the overt future setting cut roughly $20 million from a potential budget that had been heading past $100 million. The story was now set 5 minutes into the future. Costume designer Ellen Moroynick and others pushed for a near contemporary feel. The writers wrote something like 30 drafts in total across the entire development history. The core structure from those original scene cards remained remarkably intact. Directors came and went. Rob Cohen was first attached. He pushed ideas the writers disliked, including an ending in which Archer and Troy team up to disarm a bomb that somehow gains consciousness. So I guess it becomes alive.
Sentient.
When the project briefly went into turnaround, Cohen left to make Dragonheart. Marco Brambilla, coming off of Demolition Man, was next. He wanted to cast the leads much younger. Paramount pursued Johnny Depp for Archer. Depp read the script, realized it was not about hockey, and passed. Brambilla departed. The project needed a director who understood its operatic, dualistic soul.
I think I also read that Johnny Depp wasn't too much of a fan of working with Nicolas Cage either.
Really?
Yeah, I read several people were kind of like, even John Travolta was a little bit on the concerned side for working with him because a lot of them.
Do they think he's weird or what?
Yes, because they refer to him as a shamanic type of actor.
What is that?
So like he gets like really into meditation, like he just absorbs the character completely, like he makes it his whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were kind of like a little bit abrupt to it. Ooh, that looks really gross. But it made me think of how people look at Jared Leto. You know, some people don't really like working with Jared Leto because he's such a method actor.
Yeah.
I don't think to that extent Nicolas Cage, they just think he's like on the weird side.
You know, that's kind of weird. Fucking Johnny Depp calling Nicolas Cage weird.
Oh yeah,
you know,
Johnny
that's
Depp
like
is a weird
that's like the pot calling the kettle an asshole right there. That's bullshit. It's like, dude, Johnny Depp, you're fucking nuts too.
Yeah.
Like all your characters are weird as fuck.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, I don't think he should say that. Mr. Tim Burton's favorite child.
Oh, but I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard stories of Nicolas Cage being difficult to work with.
Not difficult, but strange.
Strange,
Yes.
just weird.
Which some people don't like. I don't mind strange people. I think
Yeah.
I think they're fine. They're just different.
I think I've heard that Woody Harrelson's a little weird.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can totally see
I mean, he's
that.
badass, but he's a
Yeah.
little weird.
I can totally see that working out. So, another thing about Nicolas Cage is that he was also a little bit on the squeamish side. He refused to look at his grotesque face, the one that we just saw. It was pretty rough after the surgery. Although he really didn't see it completely in like a clear shot. You just saw it through the reflection.
Yeah, you saw it through the
glasses.
reflection of glasses.
Yeah.
I wish they have showed it.
It looked pretty gross.
Yeah.
Especially with the cigarette in his mouth.
It looked like fucking that dude from Hellraiser, not Pinhead, but in the first Hellraiser
yeah,
movie,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the guy who was like coming back to life or some shit, and he had no skin, and then it was
Yeah.
eventually getting skin. Like it was very much like that or something.
It did look like that.
Yeah.
So he was very much like, he was like, I don't want to see my face. And John Woo, like, he told all production, hide all type of reflection surfaces so he doesn't. Just to like keep him happy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
John Travolta. I wonder if John Travolta like was afraid of heights or squeamish or anything like that.
I didn't see anything online on there. But I'd have to research more. But another thing is that talking about like how people interact with each other, John Travolta and his stand-in did not get along.
Really?
The stand-in even got to the point where he was trying to sabotage production, where it became a legal matter.
What an idiot.
I know. And I'm like, how can you... It's one thing, of course, to not get along with someone and like sabotage things, but you know you're dealing with John Travolta.
So are we talking about like his full on, like his stunt double? Or is a stand-in different than a stunt double?
I think it's different than the stunt double.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stand-in.
Because
But
let's say it is a stunt double, right? Let's just say whether, or maybe it's something like a stunt double and it's just as important, whatever, right? Okay. What's crazy is like, why the fuck would you do that? Because there are actors out there who, when they find a good stunt double, they'll use that motherfucker for all of their movies.
oh yeah.
So that person, that stunt double, is going to have work for years. And if they have a good actor, a high profile actor, an A-lister, a Hollywood, a high profile dude, they're not only going to have work for years, but they're going to have work in big ass movies for
Yes.
years, which is fucking badass.
Yeah.
So John Travolta is a big time actor. Like he just is. He's a big time actor. So why would you not want to fucking be on his good side so that he always uses you in the future? Because these actors are all about wanting to work with people that they get along with and that they like, or they admire, or that it make their job easier, make the fucking, life easier.
Right.
It's like, dude, what are you doing? You better kiss some ass. You're not the main man. You're
Oh,
a fucking
no.
stand-in.
Yeah. So he definitely burned the bridge there. And then having done that and going through all those legal troubles, he was fired midway through production. And then Nicolas Cage ended up getting like an extra and had his stunt double train him. So that guy turned to be John Travolta's stunt double and is still his stunt double in many films to this day. So that's exactly what you said.
Exactly.
So his loss was this guy's gain.
So
Good for you.
John Travolta, who is now the bad guy in the movie, we're at the scene where he's come to the prison and he is revealing that not only does he have his face now, but that he's killed everybody who knew about the face transfer. So fucking Nicolas Cage is stuck in prison now. Like he's fucked.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
And I love both of their acting. They're so over the top. Like, look at Nicolas Cage's face. I love
Yeah.
it. It's so good. He's like reveling in disgust.
So 1996, John Woo returns. John Woo re-entered the picture in 1996 after Hard Target and Broken Arrow. Hard Target's a pretty badass movie
I've
too.
never heard of that.
It's underrated. It's a Van Damme movie, you know, and like Van Damme himself is popular, but his movies, most of his movies are kind of like cult classics. They're not super, super high Hollywood, you know, like smash hits. His two, like, I think his most popular movie is Bloodsport, and that movie did not make a lot of money. It's just a cult classic, like people love it.
Right.
And then I think like his biggest smash hit might be Universal Soldier, and you know, even that movie is a little bit on the B list, a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
you know. But Hard Target, even though it's kind of just a basic action movie that isn't on necessarily face-off's level, it's pretty good. I mean, fucking John Woo directed it, so the action was clean. Van Damme's fighting was really clean in the movie, and that's the movie where he rocked that badass mullet.
I don't think I've seen Van Damme in a mullet.
He had the most amazing mullet I've ever seen. Like, I usually don't really care for mullets.
Yeah.
But if I was to get a mullet, I'm going to get a mullet like Van Damme in Hard Target, because that shit was fucking dope.
I don't think you would look as good as it.
I would look amazing, okay? Look it up on your phone. Look up a picture, put in Jean-Claude Van Damme, Hard Target. And you're going to see this amazing fucking mullet. And I'm going to tell you right now, I would look amazing with that mullet. I don't care what anybody says.
You have lots of confidence, Adam.
I'm just a realistic person, you know? I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, you would look good in that mullet.
Oh, that is a good movie. I have seen this. It's like got the hairspray and the gel.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Look at that shit.
That actually looks really, really good. I was thinking like waves and feathered hair.
And it's crazy because he only used it in that one movie.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, you should have brought that shit back for
Yeah.
all of your movies.
that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so John Woo, he was looking for a project that would give him more creative control than he had enjoyed in his first two American films. The writers independently had watched Woo's Hong Kong classic The Killer and realized Face Off was already a John Woo movie in waiting. Themes of duality, honor, redemption, operatic violence, and strange romanticism. Woo signed on with one major condition: less science fiction, more character and humanity. The studio agreed. This would become his third American film and the first in which he was given major creative freedom. He later described approaching the material somewhat like a comedy, or at least a Mad Magazine style exaggeration of reality. Because the premise of people swapping faces was so inherently ridiculous that the only way to sell it was to lean into the absurdity while grounding the emotions, which, when you think of that sentence, leaning into the absurdity while grounding the emotions, that is Face Off in a nutshell.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
they're so fucking over the top. They're Batman villains, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the way they act, they're Batman villains.
Oh, basically, yeah.
Casting the two leads had always been the make or break decision. The original draft had been written by Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in mind, so the movie could play with their well-known personas. Other pairings floated around. We already went through the other pairings. John Woo wanted actors with strong, distinct public personas, so audience could enjoy watching them inhabit each other's skins. You know, not to be like weird or anything like that, but I am a little surprised that Castor Troy in John Travolta's body didn't try more like sexual shit with the daughter.
I think he was trying to do that to not be like completely like, because I feel like if he would have tried to do that, she would have said something like, hey, this is totally out of character for my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
That's true.
It would have brought light to him, because I was thinking about it prior to this. When he first interacted with his wife, he was acting different, because we saw how he was in the beginning of the movie, where he was reserved,
100%,
very
yeah,
like
100% different.
respectful, like boy next door, all this stuff. And then he was doing that to his wife, and his wife didn't bat a single eyelash. Which I thought was weird. Like, she didn't even like contemplate, like, why is he like that? She was like, okay, I'm gonna work.
I guess she was so tired of his melodrama and just sadness and like his vendetta phase that she was basically welcoming any light of sunshine that was coming through. So him acting kind of crazy and kooky was like, oh my God, this is so much better or whatever. I don't fucking know.
But still, I would have been at least like, oh, okay. But like, it was like another Sunday for her, which I thought was weird. And the daughter too, I mean, she couldn't care any less. She's a teenager. She doesn't care. But definitely, I'd be like, hey, you're a little different today. Yeah.
So Travolta, still riding the post-Pulp Fiction renaissance and fresh from working with Wu on Broken Arrow, signed on as Archer. He had long wanted to do a film about duality. A Polanski project called The Double had recently collapsed. Cage, coming off his Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, which I haven't seen, and the action hits The Rock and Con Air, which I have seen, was interested in Troy, but initially hesitant about playing a pure villain. What do you think that this movie compares to? Have you seen The Rock and Con Air?
I've seen Con Air.
So Con Air, okay, that's a cool movie.
Which I will say he also is rocking a mohawk. I mean, I'm sorry.
Is that a mullet or is it just long hair?
I think it's a mullet.
Okay, you look up on your phone right now. You go Nicolas Cage, Con Air, and you tell me if it's actually a mullet, because I don't know if it's actually mullet. I think it might just be long hair. Okay, but The Rock is another Nicolas Cage movie, specifically where a group of mercenaries, they take over Alcatraz, the closed down prison, and they have a bunch of people hostage there, and they have a nuclear warhead that they're pointing at the city, and they're trying to get money, for the ransom or whatever. And Nicolas Cage, who knows a lot about, it wasn't a nuclear weapon. It was like a chemical weapon, chemical warfare weapon. And Nicolas Cage knew all about the chemical. He was like a FBI agent who was really good with that specific chemical. And then they went and found Sean Connery, who was somebody who had broke out of Alcatraz, which they nicknamed The Rock. So they needed him and Nicolas Cage to break in to The Rock so that they can try to take down those bad guys. It's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's very much a flamboyant action movie like Bad Boys or pretty much any Michael Bay movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Michael Bay movie. I don't have to. It might be a Michael Bay. Yeah, it is a Michael Bay movie. Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie. I forgot. It's one of his earlier ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did look it up, and according to Google, he is rocking a mullet. But
let me see this picture.
But it's kind of like long hair with just gelled back, combed back hair.
I think they're calling it a mullet specifically because he was hillbilly.
Maybe.
Because he was very hillbilly in the movie.
Maybe.
Don't put the bunny back in the box. But
it looked good.
I didn't like it that much, but
like it.
I respect him because he got in mad shape for that movie. Look how buff he was there.
Yeah, I was looking at his biceps through the movie, and I was like very impressed.
Yeah, he was pretty buff.
I was very, very impressed. There was a scene right here where a prisoner or a convict, whatever, is eating his last meal. What would be your last meal?
My last meal would be a really, really big burger. Mm-hmm. And a really big pizza and 30 Reese's peanut butter cups.
30.
And 30 freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. Not Chips Ahoy. I do like Chips Ahoy, but I don't want the hard ones. And I don't necessarily want the store-baked ones. I want somebody to bake them. I want one of the guards to ask their wife to bake the cookies for me and bring them to me. Okay? And then the Reese's peanut butter cups, actually, I'll take 20 Reese's peanut butter cups and then 5 fast breaks and 5 Reese's sticks. Okay, I want a plethora of different type of Reese's. Okay, and then I want a whole bunch of water and a whole bunch of root beer and Coke.
Okay, that's a lot of liquids.
Well, I need it. I need all that liquid because I'm going to be fucking eating a whole bunch of sodium with all this shit. Okay, so I need to keep myself healthy before I die.
The last 30 minutes of your life.
They don't kill you 30 minutes later after your last meal.
How long do they kill you? The next day?
I don't actually
night
know,
of?
but I don't think it's just 30 minutes later.
I would want to die 30 minutes later. I would have a Chili's meal, and then I would have pizza, and then I would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Nice.
and a huge, like a bucket, just like a big bucket with a huge straw of Coke Zero. That's it. There's like 2 ice cubes. That's it.
Coke Zero, you're gonna die. Like, what's the point in being calorie conscious?
I don't like regular Coke.
That's a lie.
No, it's true facts right
That
now.
doesn't make any sense. If the whole point of Coke Zero is to try to make it taste like regular Coke, you would think that if you actually drank regular Coke, you would like it.
I don't. I've tried it before and it's too much. Maybe it's because I've been off of it for years. But now if I taste it, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of this.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Not too crazy.
John Travolta, he was hesitant about playing a pure villain. Once he understood he would spend most of the film as the hero trapped in the villain's face, he committed. Travolta suggested Cage. Wu had also long wanted to work with him. The writers met Travolta and Cage for an introductory dinner. Travolta arrived first and was gracious. Mid-conversation, he froze, staring past them. Cage walked in. The two actors immediately began riffing on each other's famous on-screen mannerisms, trading stories and impressions while the writers quietly stepped back behind a palm tree and shook hands in relief. The chemistry was real. They spent time rehearsing together, studying each other's vocal inflections, physicality, and quirks so each could convincingly play the other. Wu encouraged them to create and then teach each other the characters. During shooting, he would sometimes cut a scene with one actor quickly and show it to the other so they could collaborate.
Oh, okay. I like that. I do like that. So right now he's trying to woo Sean Archer's wife, but he cooked lobster.
He cooked lobster.
He cooked lobster and other things. Have you ever had lobster before? That's always on my bucket list to have lobster.
I don't like seafood.
That's true.
I don't like seafood.
But I always see lobster and it's always like, man, one day I would like to eat lobster.
Why? What's so special about it?
I don't know, but every time there's a special occasion, people have it.
Like, and it, have you had crab?
I've had crab and I like crab.
So like, does it taste different than crab?
I don't know. I haven't had it.
All seafood just tastes the same to me. It all tastes like the ocean.
But it's good.
It's disgusting.
You're a land animal?
It's disgusting. I'm a land mammal. You know?
Mammal?
I'm a land mammal, so I eat land animals. Okay? I don't go after fish. Okay? I like creatures with actual muscle tissue, not the gooey stuff that fish has inside them.
You're missing out. It's
No,
good stuff.
it's gross, and it makes people's breath smell like fish afterwards. That's not cool. That's not nice.
They can just pop in a little chiclet.
No, it sticks with you all day long. Like you're like burping it up all day long. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. The only time I'll eat fish is if it's fried. If it's fried and it's like made almost to taste like chicken at that point, then I'll eat fish. Okay? That's pretty much it. For some reason, I do like tuna. For some reason. Like I like a tuna salad or a tuna sandwich for some reason. But I think at that point, I don't even know if it like it's been like turned different or something. I don't know.
It's still very fishy, and it's funny that you say you hate the taste of fish, and tuna's like one of the fishiest things you can have.
The tuna in a can?
Yeah,
I don't know about
fishy.
that.
Yeah. You're just a very odd man.
No, fish is just weird. That's what it is. I kind of like shrimp.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll eat it and I'll be like, oh, this is kind of good. But sometimes I get a little grossed out by that poop that's in their spine if it's still there. Like they haven't been deturdated.
Yeah.
That grosses me out a little bit
that
and
is
it makes me
kinda
not
gross.
want to eat it.
Yeah.
And then shrimp are basically like insects of the sea.
Yeah.
You know? So sometimes it kind of grosses me out that I'm basically eating a cockroach.
Yeah, kind of.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, what do they call them? Bottom feeders?
I don't know, but it's gross.
Yeah.
You know, like they're basically cousins to insects, right? And even though it might taste good, it leaves that fishy smell if you eat too much. So like for the most part, I stay away from seafood, period. Okay.
Not too crazy.
I love cow.
Cow's pretty good.
Beef is delicious.
Yeah. You know, I actually, probably like a year ago is when I first started eating cow since I was 15. I refused to eat hamburger patties or anything.
Why?
I just didn't like it.
Who doesn't like a hamburger?
I didn't like a hamburger.
Are you just saying that
No.
you didn't like one because out of some weird ass reason that you thought up, or did you actually eat a burger and be like, I don't like this?
No, I think because one time I got food poisoning from a burger and it freaked me out. And it took me so long to get back into it. And now I love burgers.
That's a crazy reason. Like I got food poisoning from pizza one time at some restaurant over on the island, and fuck, I would have, as soon as my stomach was better, I would have eaten pizza right away. Like I don't care. Worth it.
Not me.
It tastes delicious. Burgers are great.
Burgers are delicious.
So now we're getting this prison break scene. Okay, fucking Nicolas Cage, Sean Archer, he's having to team up with another prisoner so they can break out all kinds of mayhem. Okay, as far as prison break scenes, this is an okay one. It's not the best one, you know. Like there's a lot of other movies that do prison breaks, but this one's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I do enjoy watching prison breaks in any type of like show or movies because it's just exciting, and I like to see how the guards react to it too.
That scream, I don't know if you just heard it, but there was a guard who just screamed. Like that particular scream is a very famous scream that's used in a lot of movies.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that, like organic?
Well, I mean, it's somebody recorded it at some point in time, but it wasn't that guy. Like I've heard that scream before. Like it was even used in Broken Arrow. There's this one part where this dude Howie Mandel, I think that's his name. I think he was a football player or something like that, but he was in the movie like as a character. He gets thrown off the train. Same fucking scream.
Wow.
Yeah, same scream.
Interesting.
But yeah, like while the action is pretty good during this prison break scene, it's kind of a sloppy prison break. Like it wasn't very well planned out. Obviously, he needed to break out as fast as possible, but still, it's a very sloppy one. Like usually when you have a movie that does a prison break of any kind, like it's a very elaborate, like well thought out, fucking just like multi-step, multi-level plan to escape prison. Why? Because it's supposed to be fucking almost impossible to escape prison.
Yes.
Whereas this one is pure mayhem.
Yeah.
Like it's just like mayhem.
Yeah.
Like the chances of it succeeding were so low because he put zero planning into it.
Yeah, that's true. If I were in a prison and I had to participate in a prison escape, I think I would be too nervous. I think I would fail. Depending on what they told me to do, like if they said, okay, you're gonna be fighting a guard.
Man, that's tough.
But then again, I mean, at that point you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I guess it depends, you know, because I guess it depends on what type of prison escape you're doing. So like a movie like this required guns and shooting and beating up guards and fucking creating a riot and all that stuff. So it's wild, it's chaotic, and it's gonna really rile up the nerves a whole lot. But then you have a movie like there's a movie called Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood, and in that movie they cut out holes in their wall and then they create fake removable covers to the hole to take on and off, and then like they go in there and they find the way out, and then they get materials to create these little homemade rafts basically. And like every day they're just acquiring materials from, I guess they had like a work program or something like that.
Okay.
And they're just making this shit so that when push came to shove and they were ready to escape, they popped open those little things, they crawled through the wall, they made their way through like some inside of the walls, you know, like there's pipes and shit like that. They get out of the building, it's nighttime, and they have their rafts, and they put dummies like mannequins in their bed so that if a guard was walking by, they would see a head with hair laying down, so it would buy them some time. And then they just like floated off into the night on their rafts. And it's supposed to be I want to say it's supposed to be based on a true story. It
Okay.
probably is based on a true story, and nobody knows if those. I think those three or four guys that did the escape. One of them chickened out, like you were saying. Yeah, one of them did chicken out, and then like he tried to do it at the last second and didn't work.
Too late.
Yeah, so it was too late, so he had to stay behind. But they don't know. Nobody knows if those guys survived.
Oh, okay.
Because the water was very, very cold.
Okay.
And it was a far, swim to shore. So nobody knows if they survived or not. So if they did, they were never seen again. They, went under the radar and they made it.
Wow.
If they didn't, they never found the bodies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you're not going to that ocean.
Yeah.
I am terrified of the ocean. So, I mean, they're on that floating prison, which is in the middle of the ocean. So jumping into the ocean, I would rather stay on the boat because I'm not going to survive. I'm not. I know how to swim.
If I can get me some floaties for my arms.
There's no floaties.
If I can get me arm floaties.
There's no floaties.
Now, I agree. There's not a whole lot of floaties out there that will fit my arms because my arms are so big. But if I can find me some floaties for my arms, then I would be willing to try to swim. But if I cannot find anything to float on, I don't care how determined I am, I'm not making it across that ocean.
No, that's way too far.
I think I might be able to make it 40 to 60 feet or so before I eventually get tired and drown.
Yeah. And I'm not in the mood to get eaten by a shark. Because I'm not, like, I'm a good swimmer, but there comes a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm done.
I don't know how deep into the ocean that prison was. It might have just been like offshore, or, just like you probably could have saw the coastline or something like that. But even then, like, I'm more afraid just of drowning. Like, I'm gonna drown.
Yeah. I'm not scared of drowning. I'm scared of, like,
I mean, I'm scared of sharks, but I think the possibility of me drowning is higher than the possibility of a shark finding me and killing me. I think I'm gonna drown first. I'm gonna probably drown within the first 5 minutes. I would probably have to be out in the water for a few hours before a shark found me and actually came at me.
That's true.
Unless I'm like bleeding or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So one thing that I did start noticing when I was reading online was that John Travolta is actually a really nice man.
Is he?
Yeah, like as an actor, he's very like respectful, conscientious of like what he's doing. So there's a part where he has to like slap his daughter's butt. I don't know what part.
There's a part where he slaps a coworker's butt.
Yeah, that one. And he was like, no, I don't like that. So they actually hired a arm stunt double to do it because he's like, I just can't. Which I was like, you know what? That's very nice. I like that about John Travolta.
That is cool, and it probably is because he's nice, but some like it could also tie into this other thing that apparently floats around about John Travolta's. There's a pretty big rumor out there, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but there's a pretty big rumor out there that John Travolta is gay.
I think I may have heard this.
Yeah, that he's gay, that he has boyfriends.
Partners.
He has boyfriends, shit like that. I don't know if he is or isn't,
Right.
and I honestly don't really care if he is or isn't. Like I think John Travolta is cool enough to where like I don't give a fuck if he's gay or whatever like that. Okay, but throughout this entire time, like for years and years and years, he's always been married to Kelly Preston.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and Kelly Preston is fucking hot. Like, she's hot.
I don't know.
So the biggest movies she came out in that I know off the top of my head is she came out in Twins.
Oh.
She was the girl that
okay.
Arnold ends up getting with, like the fucking knockout that Arnold gets with.
Yes.
Okay. And I forget what other stuff she but her career kind of like stopped after a while. I think she might have just like stopped because she started becoming a mother or whatever.
Okay.
But she's been married to John Travolta for fucking ever. Like
Wow.
They're probably married at this point in time.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now I don't know, let's say he was gay. I don't know if she knows about it and just accepts it, or if he has hid it from her this entire time. I don't fucking know. So then you could say it's like, oh, he didn't want to smack that girl's butt because he's gay. But at the same time, he's got a wife and he's got kids.
Yeah.
And it's not like he won't kiss a girl. Like he kisses girls in his movies. So But yeah, like there's a rumor out there that he's gay. I don't really know if he is or not. I think John Travolta's I think he's fucking cool as shit.
I vaguely heard about that.
All right, late 1996, pre-production and early shooting. Production began in earnest around Halloween 1996. Some accounts place overall activity from September 1996. Principal photography is officially listed as January 4th, 1997 to April 1st, 1997, April Fool's Day, as the writers like to note. The boat chase sequence in San Pedro Harbor was among the earliest and most complex pieces filmed. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be the scene at the end.
Okay.
Like that's a boat chase at the end of the movie. It ultimately took about 4 weeks. Cinematographer Oliver Wood, who had wanted to work with Wu for years, came on after recovering from an injury that had kept him off of Broken Arrow. He shot everything on 35mm Panavision, dealing with endless reflections in all the glass FBI headquarters setting and lighting, hundreds of practical gun battles. Wu insisted the stars look glamorous even in the middle of chaos. Practical effects ruled. They blew up a real plane. Stunt work was extensive and dangerous. Margaret Cho cast in a small role as an FBI agent, partly because Wu's daughter was a fan. Really, a fan of her. Mm-hmm. You know what? I can believe that. Like, I know that. So China is a very big market, huge market for movies. And one of the very basic ways that a movie will up its the chances of box office production is putting in a Chinese star in the movie. Oh. You know, like kind of how like you always randomly see Mexican stars and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've never even heard of the person, but
Yeah.
you've seen them in the novellas or whatever you watch.
Yes.
Okay? It's the same shit. They'll put in a popular Chinese star in the movie just randomly in a role somewhere just to up its chances. Now, I don't know if that's why they casted her, but I mean, it could have just been because Wu's daughter was a fan.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Later recalled that a story spanning roughly a week of screen time took nearly a year of production because of the volume of stunts and practical work.
Just for that scene?
Holy
Wow.
shit.
And on that scene too, Nicolas Cage ended up shattering his collarbone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They shot through Christmas. Travolta's deal was still being finalized even as cameras rolled. On Christmas Day, the producers were still negotiating his compensation. Special effects artist Kevin Yeager created the film's most unnerving practical pieces, full-body animatronic doubles of both Cage and Travolta for the transplant sequence. Life casts were taken, then silicone bodies were built with pores, individual hairs implanted by the hundreds of thousands, blood vessels that could pulse, and servo motors that made the faces twitch and the chests rise and fall as if breathing. Both actors found the clones deeply unsettling. Cage described looking at his own replica as terrifying and trippy. One of the writers walked into a dimly lit set and mistook the Cage dummy for the real actor meditating. Art director Steve Arnold called the work both amazing and scary.
Wow. Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. They even had like at the premiere of their movie, they had wax figures standing in the premiere. So Nicholas and John Travolta had to go to the premiere and look at their weird, freaky wax figures, which were worse than the dummies on set.
So this part right here where he's talking about the face off. Did you say that was ad-libbed?
That was ad-libbed.
Yeah?
Yes, it was.
Face off.
Probably that little nose.
There's another
touch
part.
too.
Yeah, there's another part that I think was ad-lib that I think I read about was they plan on, I guess, sneaking into or raiding or something Sean Archer's house, right? Mm-hmm. So Sean Archer, who is really Nicolas Cage, wants to infiltrate his own house
Okay.
so that he can go after Castor Troy in his body, right?
Yes.
And he tells the guys, like the guys are like, what? We can't go after Sean Archer because he's a badass, right? He's like, they've been fighting him for years. He's a badass.
Yeah.
And he tells them the code to the security, his security panel or something like that, right? And he's giving them the information they need to go there. And they're saying like, how do you know so much about him? And he says, I sleep with his wife or something like that. He says that in the movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that was in the original script. He might have forgotten his lines and just ad-libbed,
Yes.
or maybe he just wanted to try it to begin with.
Yes.
But like everybody started laughing and John Woo loved it and he kept it in.
Yes, that was ad-libbed. Yes, it was.
This part is just retarded. Something like the way he does the crazy face and he's looking at that chick and he's like, I'm not dead. I'm me.
He also did a lot of like his crazy faces are pretty well remembered. But have you ever seen Vampire's Kiss?
I have not.
He was very like crazy faced on that one.
Really?
Yes. It was
That-
probably one of the most.
That girl that slapped him. That's Gina Gershon, I think.
Oh, that's Gina Gershon.
Yeah. So remember we were watching Ted Lasso,
Yes.
and Roy said just randomly to Beard, he was like, "I dated Gina Gershon once."
That's right.
Or no, he said it to Ted. I think he said it to Ted.
Yeah.
He said it to one of them. He
Yeah.
was like, I dated Gina Gershon once, and they were
Yeah.
like, that makes me happy or something like that.
I do remember that, yeah. Another thing that was interesting is that Nicolas considers Face Off as one of his best movies ever. So that's cool.
He'd be right. I mean, he has made a lot of badass movies, though. I'm trying to think if I would consider Face Off my personal favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
You also have National Treasure, which is a really good movie.
National Treasure is fun, but Face Off is better.
Oh, for sure.
Face Off is better. Face Off is better than Con Air to me. And look, Danny Masterson or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Dude from that 70s show, The Rapist.
I also really like, I think it's called Wicker Man.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I like that movie a
Yeah.
lot. It's scary. Wicker Man, and then
Fucking It Could Happen to You is great.
yes,
That is a great
It Could
movie.
Happen to You. Con Air is also very good.
Then there's The Rock is good, but I think I like Face Off better than The Rock. He made that one movie Next where he sees like 2 minutes into the future. That's a cool movie.
Oh, I didn't see
It is a cool movie. He's a little older in that movie. His hair's looking pretty crazy at that point, but it's a cool movie. It's got Jessica Biel in it, and she kind of sucks. And he's like all about her in that movie. Like he was like obsessed with her in that movie or something. There's another movie called Knowing.
Oh yes, with like black rocks or something. They're floating at the end.
Something like that. Yeah, it's Aliens.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's a cool movie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's better than Face Off, but it's a dope movie.
Another like it was not. At least I don't think it went to theaters, but it was kind of like a streaming movie. It's kind of a play off of Five Nights at Freddy's, but he's in that movie and he literally says like one word the entire time.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called though.
I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Really?
Yes, it was really good, just because of Nicolas Cage.
You know, most people would probably say Gone in 60 Seconds is his best movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
The one where he steals all the cars? It's a car movie. It's got
no.
Angelina Jolie in it.
No.
No? A lot of people would probably say that that's his best movie because it's a pretty popular movie, you know, and it's got like a lot of really nice cars in it or whatever. But Face Off is better in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shit, Face Off might be his best movie. I'm going to have to look at his filmography again. It's going to be between this and Something's Gotta Give. I mean, not something, It Could Happen to You.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Let's see, January through April 1997, principal photography and on-set alchemy. The shoot was intense and collaborative. Wu gave the actors significant leeway for improvisation. Cage went especially big. In the famous scene with Nick Cassavetes playing Dietrich, Cage ad-libbed the line, "I'd like to take his face off," which we just talked about it. And the two of them repeated variations for what felt like 10 minutes, building the hysteria. Cassavetes later said none of the title repeating was scripted. Cage also improvised singing in certain moments, including a completely freaked out disco thing in one tense scene with John Travolta that was not in the script. He was deliberately trying to be surprising and a little funny. Cassavetes himself invented the incestuous kiss between his character and Gina Gershon's Sasha on the day, deciding that if they were bad guys, they might as well be incestuous bad guys. Gershon was annoyed but not offended. The take stayed in. So yeah, like that right there is the bald dude's sister. That chick right there, the mother of his son or whatever, is the bald guy's sister. They're gonna be raided very soon by the FBI. Okay, and then during this firefight, the bald guy is gonna die. She gets away, he gets away, the kid gets away, right? But before she parts ways with the brother, he's like, get out of here, whatever. And before they leave, like he grabs her and he gives her a kiss on the lips. I always thought it was weird. And I guess it was supposed to be weird. Okay. You know, like they did it on purpose. But that's the only like thing that they did that was incestuous, that one kiss. Gotcha. But it was a straight up kiss on the lips. Like you'll see it probably in the next 5 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's a weird guy, so it would fit to his personality.
Let's see. Travolta was more measured and by the book, though he contributed lines of his own, including jokes about his ridiculous chin when playing Castor in Archer's body. He later said that he had an easier time of the dual role than Cage because Cage's style was so specific. Cage, playing Archer trapped in Troy's body for most of the film, had to let the humanity of the hero bleed through the villain's physicality. Both men studied each other carefully. Cage later described one moment during the shoot where he felt he actually left his body and wondered whether he was acting or if it was real. That's some of that shaman shit that you're talking about right there.
Yeah.
Wu loved these extremes. He encouraged Cage to watch his Hong Kong films to understand the barometer of expressionistic performance he was looking for. Cage felt liberated. He has called the film a personal milestone where he got to push expressionistic acting in a major studio movie. Producer Barry Osborne recalled Cage's mercurial energy and expensive tastes. Car delivery services would show up on set with new Lamborghinis for the actor, at least 2 or 3 during production. Wow. That's why he has to make so many goddamn movies.
He has to.
He's fucking nuts.
He's got no choice.
He's like a goddamn like a rapper, or like a black athlete or something that's just spending money like crazy, you know? He's fucking like, I remember Shaq said that with his first check, because I think like basketball players get, sports athletes get like a sign-on bonus, and it's usually a pretty big fucking check, especially if you're real popular, and Shaq was. He said he spent it all, I think, within the first, like, I don't know, like couple weeks or some shit like that. He just spent it all. Like he bought a Mercedes. His dad was like, oh, that's nice. So he bought his dad one. You know, he bought this, he bought that, and he just spent it all. And then he had nothing to show for it afterwards, right? Yeah. So at that, I think it was then or later or sometime later on that he realized that he couldn't keep doing it like that. So like he said that he put himself through college for business. Okay. He went to school for business, and he did the same thing for, I think, all of the members on his basketball team who wanted it. Like he did it for all his friends. Yeah. It's like, y'all guys go to school too. Like, so that he could specifically help the people around him be better with money.
I like that.
Which is pretty dope.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Shaquille O'Neal's a very cool guy. Very cool guy.
Good.
One thing that Nicolas Cage did, because he's like so into his character, kind of a little bit on the method acting side as well, but he had a strict diet of just straight black coffee and raw red meat. Isn't that crazy?
Why?
Because he felt like it would bring him some type of like the lack of carbs would bring this type of erratic anger in him.
But did you say raw meat?
Yep.
He would eat raw meat?
Raw steak and black coffee.
God, that's so gross.
Mm-hmm. Black coffee I do like, but raw steak, no. No, thank you.
That's horrible. Both of those sound horrible to
Yeah.
me.
Horrible, but that also he wanted to be mad. Like he wanted to be furious at all times.
I guess
so that makes sense.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Yep. He was always hungry. He was like, ah.
Fucking crazy.
But that's to do that for an entire year. That's dedication, in my opinion.
Yeah, to hell with that. Let's see. Wu fought for signature touches when the studio balked at a sequence in which a child listens to Over the Rainbow, which is actually going on right now as we're talking,
Yeah.
on headphones while a gun battle rages. Wu had originally considered Puff the Magic Dragon. Wu offered to pay for the extra shooting days himself. The studio eventually reimbursed him after the film succeeded. The original ending was more ambiguous and European in tone, involving the boy who had been living with Castor's associates. Test audiences were confused and kept asking what happened to the child. Paramount paid for a reshot and a more upbeat conclusion. Locations spanned the Los Angeles area, the Los Angeles Convention Center for the bomb threat, Southern California Logistics Airport in Victorville for the hangar sequence, a real Pacific Palisades house for the Archer family home, the distinctive Henman House as the Walsh Institute where the surgery occurs, the Eagle Rock defunct power plant redressed as a magnetic boot prison, San Pedro for the boat chase, and the abandoned Parks and Recreation building used as the church for the finale. Production designer Neil Spizak's team measured and photographed every surface of the prison set. Stunt coordinator Brian Smears and the second unit handled the most dangerous work. Wu made a point of not always hiding the stunt performers' faces, respecting their craft and preferring the beauty of real action over digital face replacement. So I guess he didn't really care if you have a scene where it's a stunt double and you can totally tell that it's somebody else.
I like that.
I mean, shit. If other movies are going to do it on accident or just because they're fucking lazy, might as well have a director that does it on purpose for a reason.
Yeah, I
Right?
do like that. And like when you were stating all those places that they filmed, I've always been jealous of places that film really like big movies because it's like their everyday life. So like, let's say you just go to the hospital and you're like, wow, this is where Face Off was filmed. You know what I mean? Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just me, myself, like one of my bucket list things is to fucking run the route that Rocky ran in his movie, which I actually think I saw online, like I think on Facebook or something. It was an ad to sign up to join in kind of like a 5K, but it wasn't just a 5K because they were going to run the Rocky route.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I don't want to run it with 1,000 different people. I'm going to run that shit on my own,
Yeah.
you know? But my bucket list, one of the things on my bucket list is to run the route and then to obviously run the steps.
Go for steps. Yeah. That's a cool bucket list. I like that. I would also like to do something like that.
Gold guns.
Yes, the gold guns.
I'm surprised you don't see more of those. Like, I mean, you see black guns, you see nickel plated guns. I'll even see like these sporty type guns that have like fucking like blue and red on them or some shit like that, I think. But why? And they make even pink guns for girls.
Yeah, they do.
And they make camo guns, like rifles and camo shotguns for hunters and shit.
They do make lots of guns, but no, you don't really see too many gold guns. Although I do, if I'm not mistaken, John Leguizamo in Romeo and Juliet, did he have a gold gun? Maybe he didn't. He did, right?
I think he fucking did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on this movie, that gold gun was so sensitive that they actually had to have a gun handler hired specifically to hold the gun during takes. And he had a microfibered cloth, and he would clean it very carefully.
Sensitive as in how?
It got scratched easily.
Oh, no shit.
So the lights and everything had to reflect off the gun, and fingerprints, amongst other things, would kind of damage the reflection.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they would have to take really, really good care of it.
Oh, damn.
So maybe that's why it's just very sensitive.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with it.
It's just too ornate.
Yes. But it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
They called it the Golden Gun Insurance. I always like top of the buildings stunts. I just think they look very cool. And one of the coolest things too is when people like crash through ceilings, glass ceilings.
Yeah.
I always think that's super awesome. It's like, look how cool that looks.
Pollux is just getting his ass murdered right now. He's falling through a ceiling. He's about to fall to the ground. And fucking, he's falling right in front of John Travolta, who is actually Castor Troy. So he's pissed right now. He's super pissed. What is your favorite John Travolta movie?
I do. Don't get me wrong. Grease is a great movie, but my sister was obsessed with Grease, and she would literally watch that thing in the morning when she woke up and at night. So I kind of hate Grease.
Yeah,
But
I feel the same way about Moana.
Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my brother watched it too much.
Your brother?
Yes, I can't stand that movie now. I mean, it's okay, like it's all right, but I will never watch that movie again.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Grease. But when it comes to his movies, I don't really have I mean, Pulp Fiction was good,
Yes, that's true. It was
but
good.
I'd have to say this one. You?
I'm gonna have to look at his filmography again so I can really like, because I feel like there's gonna be a movie that I'm missing. I really like Look Who's Talking
Look Who's Talking.
with the
baby,
with the talking baby. Yeah, the baby.
I don't remember that movie. I know
Yeah.
what it is, but I don't remember it.
There's 3 of them actually. Part 1 was good. Part 2 was pretty good. Part 3 was okay. That one had talking dogs.
Okay.
They got pet dogs and they were talking to each other. It was kind of Dr. Dolittle-ish
Okay.
or whatever.
There's this other movie with him called Michael.
Oh, yes.
That's a
Michael.
good movie.
Michael and Phenomenon.
Yes.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
Phenomenon might actually be my favorite movie
Yes.
of his. Now that I think about it, that might actually, I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool, good movie.
Yeah.
So is Michael. Michael's awesome.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn. See, like there's probably other movies out there that I'm not thinking about right
Yeah.
now. For sure.
He looks really good. And I will say another thing about John Travolta is because now he's kind of like he lost all his hair, right? Like he's bald. He looks really
He's
good.
bald.
He actually looks very handsome for a bald man.
He rocks the bald. He
Yeah.
rocks the bald with the beard.
Yes, because there was a time
He's
where
he's like a Temu Stone Cold Steve Austin.
there was a time where he was like losing a lot of his hair, and I think he just wasn't doing anything, so it was very thin. But after he kind of like shaved it all and he brought the beard on, it looked really good.
You know what?
For him.
That's Nicolas Cage probably needs to do the same thing because his hair gets fucking wild
Yes.
because he is bald, like he's getting the receding hairline just like he is. He's probably thinning out, but he lets it stay long so that he can
Very
be like,
long.
I have a lot of hair still.
Yes.
You know, but it's like not great hair.
Yes, yes.
It's like, dude, you just need to abandon that hair. You know, like it was so okay. Look up Nicolas Cage next.
Next.
Yes. Nicolas Cage next. It's a good movie. I liked the movie, but his hair was off-putting throughout the entire fucking thing.
Oh, I see.
Like it was just so annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, cut that. Look at that shit.
I see.
Look at
Yes,
that.
Yes.
It's fucking annoying. And like it's like he thinks that because it's longer that it's youthful looking because I have a lot of hair.
I
But
see
you
what you
don't
mean.
have a lot of hair.
Yes.
You got a lot of weird hair.
Maybe if they would have like combed it, like a little comb over, it would have looked better.
Maybe if he put it in like a fucking
Yeah.
Steven Seagal ponytail or something. I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is, but I know that that's not the answer.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, so he might have to like see what he looks like with a bald head at some
Yeah,
point.
that's true.
Does he ever have a beard?
Nicolas Cage beard, let's
Does
see.
Nicolas Cage ever rock a beard?
Yeah, he does look, and he looks pretty good in it.
I don't know. That looks like a fake ass beard.
Either way, it looks good.
I don't know. That might be a fake beard.
Let's see. No. Well,
You know what? I don't think I like Nicolas Cage with a beard.
I think
But
he's working pretty well with it.
if he was bald, maybe.
Oh, look, here's another one.
Look at that hair. His beard's not that good. It's a little on the
another one.
ugly. It's a little on the ugly side.
There was also this movie I saw with him, where he is. Oh, it recently came out. It was with Nicholas Holt, and he's a vampire. Because I was thinking, with his long hair, he looks very gothic.
Oh, that weird fucking
Renfield.
yeah, there you go. That crazy weird Dracula movie. I didn't watch it.
Yes, it was not that great.
I'm not gonna watch.
but
Yeah, the trailer looked
his
like garbage.
character as Renfield was funny.
Was it?
Yes, it was very funny. It was a good movie.
He just makes some weird ass movies sometimes.
He's a weird man, so it makes perfect sense.
You know what movie he made that was absolute 100% garbage that I did watch?
What?
Ghost Rider.
I remember, yeah.
Fucking hated Ghost Rider so much. I hated it so much. Some people liked it a little bit, and like the CGI wasn't bad. It was like kind of cool looking, but it was a shit movie. Fuck, I hate that movie so much.
He was rocking pretty good hair, though.
That doesn't look real.
Maybe that's why.
That does not look real.
Maybe that's why.
So now we're at the scene where Nicolas Cage, as the good guy, is in his home trying to convince his wife that he's really Sean Archer. Okay? Now, obviously, she's not gonna fucking believe him.
Well, no, because it's such a
Yeah.
like a weird thing to do.
Like you can't believe it. It's preposterous, it's ridiculous, and it's just him being a crazy psycho, and she's having to sit there and take it. Okay. But he does say to her the blood types, right? That, my blood type is whatever, his blood type is whatever, you're a nurse, or I think she's a doctor.
Oh, that's right.
Figure it out, like find out, and it'll prove it,
Yeah.
right? If you were in her situation and your son's killer, because remember, like Nicolas Cage's character, Castor Troy, killed her son.
That's right.
Okay. If your son's killer was like, I'm really your husband,
Yeah.
I just have a different face.
Yeah.
Okay. We swapped faces. And it's like, but you know what? Check our blood type. And then you go ahead and you do it. You go ahead and you do it. And you find out that, yes, the blood is different like he said it was. Would you, could you still believe it even after that?
Oh, I mean, if I was a doctor, I'd be like, that's the biggest concrete evidence.
Yeah, but like face swapping, it's fucking nuts.
At that time, well, yeah, that's true. But she has to put the points, like the clues together, because
I guess because he acts so different.
he's so different.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say from one day to the next, oh, I'm this super confident, funny, charming guy who makes you laugh, when he was so, like, good boy prior to that. And then some random guy comes and says, oh, this happened, I'm actually your husband. He's not. Kind of makes your eyes open up a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, in a realistic setting, maybe I'd be like, you know what? It's just a coincidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you be like, I should listen to this person?
I'd feel like I think I would feel like I'm being played.
Okay.
Like, even if I did the blood test, I'd be like, what the fuck game is he, like, what game is he playing?
Yeah.
What's
What's his game?
There's no way my husband's face is on another person's face.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. It's crazy talk.
It is. But even now, like present time, or just because it was the 90s? Because there are some, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there are crazy things now, but still, I don't know.
Would you pull out a gun on that guy?
Fuck yeah, I would. Well, I mean, with me, okay, so like if I roles reverse and like I'm the dude and it's my wife, right? My wife that has her face with a different person's face, and I'm dealing with some bitch who, like, burnt my house down with my kid inside of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily need a gun. I would just punch her in the face.
That's true.
Like, just handle it with my fisticuffs. I ain't scared of no chick. I don't care how crazy she is.
So Nicholas is now crying.
Like a little girl.
Not like a little girl, like
a
a man.
little emotional woman.
But he's very like, though, even when he's acting as Sean Archer, it's very believable to me.
Have you ever seen that movie City of Angels?
No, but you were telling me about it.
Yes.
That might actually be one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
You haven't even seen it.
I know, but you were telling me the plot of it. And I remember the last thing of it.
It is actually a very good movie.
I'm a very
and
optimistic person.
And it's a very touching movie. Very touching
Yes,
movie.
except for the end.
Sad, in a very sad, depressing sort of way.
Yes.
But that is crazy that you can just go pick it and you haven't even watched it yet.
I'm a very optimistic person, and usually I have good take if I'm gonna love a movie or hate a movie. I'm usually never wrong.
I mean, if you love Nicolas Cage, you're gonna love that movie because he's great in it. Meg Ryan's pretty good in it too.
I do like Meg Ryan.
Yeah. Whatever happened to her?
I don't know, but she was in You Got Mail.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
She was in You Got Mail. She was in the first Top Gun movie.
That's right. She was.
She was in this movie with John Candy called Armed and Dangerous. It's a comedy. Like very young in it. Mm-hmm. She was funny. She was cool. Mm-hmm. She's a good actress.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in anything after that.
Maybe she just got ugly or something. They didn't want her face on screen anymore.
They can still hire her. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman is still getting a lot of work.
She is.
And, I'm not saying she's ugly, but she has aged, but that's not even the big thing. Like, she looks like she's gotten work done.
You can tell she's gotten a lot of work done.
And, like, that's worse. That's worse than just looking old.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you try to look better by getting work done, but it makes it worse.
Mainly
It's very
chicks.
obvious. There was a man who'd gotten, Mickey Rourke. But he had a lot of like boxing issues, right? Like his was like,
I don't know what the fuck his problem was. I don't know what he was thinking, but he
had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he fucked his face up. But he's such a crazy dude, and he can play such crazy characters that's a lot of times his fucked up face actually works for his character.
Yeah,
it's
I can
weird.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he can get away with that shit because it's been a long time since he's ever like been thought of as a handsome guy.
Yeah.
There was a time where he was, a good-looking guy. He looked kind of like he looked kind of like a buff Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was pretty handsome. But it is rare for like men to get work done. There was a lot of rumors that Zac Efron got work done. The guy who played
Yeah, but I heard that he had like
an accident.
Yeah, there was something that happened with his jaw, and he had work done, and like that's why he looks so different.
Yeah.
I never liked Zac Efron, but then he made that one goddamn movie, The Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw.
That movie is fucking badass, and he was really good in that movie. And I didn't care that he had a fucking Cro-Magnon jaw. Like, I actually think it worked for him. And he was buff as fuck, and that's just a dope ass movie. And I love pro wrestling. But is just based on a true story. It was just good, no matter all around. That's a badass fucking movie. A little bit sad at the end though. A little sad.
I've never seen it. I don't think I want to watch it. It's too sad.
Yeah, it's a little sad. It's not as sad as like The Wrestler. Did you ever see The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
No.
That's a very sad movie. That's a fucking depressing movie. Like, that movie is specifically trying to make you depressed and kind of have a horrible outlook on life and just hate life.
I'm not into that.
Whereas Iron Claw is simply telling you a sad story.
Okay.
But it really happened, so you got to tell it the way that it is.
I'm not into that. I'll cry for anything. So I don't want to, like, if someone says like, yeah, this movie's super sad, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to watch it. It's just going to like ruin my entire week. And it'll like linger in my thoughts. I'm like, no thanks.
Whenever we were watching Ted Lasso, did you cry on any of the parts?
Absolutely. Yeah. I cried when, oh my gosh, when he was talking about his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. That was really sad. There's a few other parts too, but I can't remember. But I'll cry in legit spots.
So we're getting really close to the climate, like the final part of the movie, the very end of the movie, where they're going to have the final battle scene. Sean Archer inside Nicolas Cage's body is getting ready. He's going to He's going to go confront John Travolta. John Travolta knows that it's probably coming. You know, he's been knowing since day one that it's coming ever since Nicolas Cage's character escaped that prison. So he's waiting for it big time. He has his suspicions about the wife, but he doesn't know if she's really in on it. You know, how did you feel about John Travolta as a good guy, Sean Archer, taking Castor Troy's son in?
As a good guy taking him in.
So he's because he kills this kid's dad. Mm-hmm. But the kid is an innocent, right? So and the mom ends up getting killed in the gun battle at the end of the movie. So he has nobody.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about him taking the son of his son's killer in?
I think he's a good guy, so he doesn't see it as, he sees the child as a child. And also in my opinion, he probably sees him as a, I don't want to say replacement of his own child, but he feels, I think he's like, you know what, God is putting this situation in my hand, so I lost my own son, but I gained this one. Because he's a good guy. And he wouldn't like abuse him or anything. He would just treat him as his own.
I wonder if they'll tell like the son the truth, or if he'll already remember it. You know, if he's old enough to where he'll kind of remember what happened, what went down when he was a kid.
I think he's too old to not remember.
I wonder what kind of opinions he'll form later on.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure at one point he'll realize what type of father he actually has.
He probably will just become a serial killer himself, because, you know, some people like to say that shit's genetic.
I have heard that.
You see the doves flying around? Mm-hmm. That's like a John Woo director signature move right there. Like, he likes to have doves flying around in his movies. And I'm trying to think if it happened in Broken Arrow. I'm sure it probably did, but it absolutely happened in Hard Target. I for sure remember the dove thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look out for the doves next time.
Spring, summer 1997, post-production and release. Editors Steven Kemper and Christian Wagner cut the film on Avid. Composer John Powell, recommended by Hans Zimmer, the fucking GOAT, who was too busy to take the job himself but offered guidance and a guarantee, delivered roughly 115 minutes of score in about 10 weeks.
Wow.
So 2.5 months he created all the music for this movie, which is pretty crazy, with contributions from Gavin Greenaway. The soundtrack album arrived the week after theatrical release. The budget settled at approximately $80 million.
Wow.
That's a pretty high budget for the time. You know, that's a good sized budget for an action movie for sure. Face Off opened in the United States on June 27th, 1997. It grossed roughly $246 million worldwide and ranked as the 11th highest grossing film of the year. Critics called it one of the strangest movies a major studio had ever greenlit. Audiences embraced the glorious excess. It earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Sound Effects Editing. Cage and Travolta won the MTV Movie Award for Best On-Screen Duo. The writers, who had started out hoping to pay off student loans with a clever Die Hard style spec, had instead co-created a fever dream about identity, obsession, and the faces people wear, staged like an opera with machine guns and white doves.
Wow.
From a hang gliding accident story told at a party, through 6 years of development across 2 studios, 3 directors, dozens of drafts, and one of the most committed dual performances in action cinema history, the movie that never should have worked became a classic. John Woo got the creative control he wanted. Michael Douglas's insistence on psychological depth attracted the right actors. Cage and Travolta matched each other's freak, and the 2 writers who had simply wanted a piece of the 1990s action pie ended up with something far stranger and more enduring. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like the freak matching freak part. They're besties. I love that for them. And this fighting scene, they're inside a church and it's really pretty. I like all the colors of the church, like the
Yeah.
dark maroons and the dark blues, all those hues, and then like even the floral settings are very. Very colorful.
John Woo's got style for sure. And there are a lot of directors out there who try to have style.
Yeah.
But I guess like, you know, it's like with fashion, like all people who do fashion have some sense of style, but some of it's going to come across as retarded and hideous. Some
Yeah.
of it's going to come across as badass. Some of it's going to come across as sophisticated and subtle or whatever like that, you know. And his style is definitely pretty fucking clean. It's over the top, but it's clean. It's not too ridiculous.
No, it's not. But even like the curtains that are, you know, like there's no windows and they're just like open. I've always been obsessed with movie scenes or TV show scenes where there's curtains flowing with the wind.
Really?
I don't know why. It just makes it look like so magical.
It's a good touch. I wonder if a director like John Woo, you know, these ideas of making the movie more enhanced visually, like with doves and flowing curtains and the panning of the eyes and, you know, all that shit. If he has like a book where he just wrote down all these ideas that he goes back to stick in his movies, or if like he references maybe some other catalog of ideas from some other movie, you know, like I wonder where the directors get their signature shit, or, you know, the shit that they like to use in their movies, and whether they keep their own ideas logged, or if there's like some reference book for directors out there with all the different types of stuff that you can put in movies to flare it up a little bit. It's just like I always wonder, you know.
That's a good question.
So like if you were to like go into a school for directing, you know, like what kind of stuff is textbook, what kind of stuff is fundamental, and what kind of stuff is like looked at as crazy and, you know, frowned upon, what kind of stuff is looked at as too masterful to teach, you know, like and like how often does a director do something that is looked at as like, holy shit, that's new and innovative.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's a craft.
It is a craft.
It's
yeah.
a craft. It's
Yeah.
a skill, and it's a craft, and it's an art form.
Yeah.
And just like any skill, craft, and art form, shit evolves,
That's true.
right? You know, whether it's skateboarding, and you look at old school skateboarding where, you know, like a kickflip was like, oh my God, you know, or whatever
Yeah.
like that. And now you have these fucking kids who are doing amazing fucking things that grown men couldn't do back in the fucking 90s or whatever. Same shit. Or musicians, the shit that musicians can fucking do on instruments nowadays.
Oh yeah.
You know, just
It's unthought of. During the fight scene, when everyone pulled out their guns, even like Gina Gershon had a gun, if I'm not mistaken. His wife.
everybody had a goddamn gun.
Everybody except
The
for
birds,
Sean.
the birds had guns.
They pulled out their
The
little guns.
birds were shooting fucking people left and right.
But Sean Archer's wife, I forget her name, but she pulled out a chair and hit one of the guys super, super hard. And I thought that was cool. I was like, she doesn't have a gun, but she put like all her strength into that.
Like, I'll help.
Yes. And I was
The
like,
daughter
oh.
fucked up though.
Yeah, she kind of got in the way.
The daughter ends up stabbing the fucking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Granted, she doesn't know,
Yeah.
but still.
Complicated. Uh-oh, now this is the basic scenario, like, who's who? Happened in the Matrix, right?
What?
The who's who? Like, who's the real guy? No, it didn't happen in the Matrix. It happened in another movie where, like, Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where they're, like, old versions of themselves.
Oh yeah. That movie's called Looper.
Looper, yes.
Yeah, but they were like, yeah, one was just a future version of the other.
Yes, yeah.
That's a pretty cool movie.
Yeah. But I like in movies where you're trying to figure out who's who and you're trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a person is.
It's like, which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one of you pieces of shit is it? Oof, stabbed him right in the goddamn leg.
With the little.
That was a stunt double. That was a stunt double I just saw run by.
Do you see a beautiful sunset? It's actually really hard to film scenes with sunsets or sunrises because you got to get it fast.
Yeah, and I'm sure like filming outdoors in general is tough because you like the lighting is at the mercy of the sun, you know, like and it's just so strong that you can't really like use your own lighting very much out there. So you got to kind of just work with what you're given with the sun.
Yes.
So it's probably there's probably a whole art form again to it, like with photography and videography and all that bullshit.
No.
Then we get a badass boat chase scene at the end of the movie. Fucking Nicolas Cage steals his own speedboat. There just happen to be two perfectly running fast speedboats at the harbor for them to steal with the keys in the ignition ready to go. So that's lucky for both of them.
And tank full of gas, right?
Tank full of gas, you know, they're fucking just hauling ass, chasing each other.
And they both know how to drive boats.
Now we're probably going to get a whole lot of stunt double stand-in faces in these scenes right here.
I don't know how to drive a boat. Do you?
Hell no.
I hate when I watch movies and they just pop into a boat or like an airplane and they're like, I got this.
Drive?
No.
Driving boats is kind of dangerous. Like when it comes to speed boats, like really fast boats, like it's kind of dangerous. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of people speeding in the water and they're all and because the water can get kind of choppy, it's basically like they're fucking just bumping and then all of a sudden they just all fly out of the boat.
Yeah.
Like that shit's dangerous.
Yeah, that
and
is.
apparently, I forgot what the statistic is, but whenever people attempt boat speed records, like water speed records, because you know you have land speed records. People go out to the salt flats and they try to drive whatever, you know, supercar or motorcycle or rocket powered car that they have, and they try to break speed records. Well, people do it on the water as well. Like there are people who try to hit the fastest water speed record as well. But apparently it's pretty fucking dangerous. I think it's even more dangerous to attempt water speed records than it is land speed records. Because the boats, like if you fuck up and you hit a wave or choppy water and the water's not flat enough, it can send you flying. It can send you flying and you're launched out of the fucking boat. So it's like super dangerous to the point to where there's a certain percentage of people that die attempting water speed records.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There was an episode of Top Gear that I saw where they were trying to break a speed record for an amphibious vehicle. So like
Vehicle?
Yeah, an amphibious vehicle is a vehicle that can drive on land and go in the water.
Oh, okay.
So like there are a few out there, but they made one out of this little tiny car, and they made it to where like it's like almost like a jet ski in the water.
Okay.
And they were trying to break a water speed record, I think, for like that city or something. It was more of a local speed record, right?
Okay.
But they did it. Like they ended up doing it, and Jeremy Clarkson was the one who was driving it, and the other two, Richard Hammond and James May, they built the thing. They built it, and they forced Jeremy to drive it, and like he didn't want to drive it because he thought that he was gonna die in it.
Yeah.
and they made it like overly complicated to change from land to water vehicle. Like it was ridiculously complicated.
Oh my God.
And it was like horrible steering, but he did do it. Like he broke through. I think he got up to like almost 50 miles an hour or something like that on the water.
Wow.
It's a lot harder to go super fast on the water than it is on land.
On land.
Yeah. But he was like, it was a horrible vehicle. Like the thing almost killed me. And the other two were bummed out because they said that they made it overly difficult and unsafe on purpose because they were trying to kill him.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't put it past them. I really wouldn't. So on the boat scene, like I know they use stunt doubles, but the stunt double like must have gone through a lot of stuff. Just him like hanging onto that chain. Did you see how he was like going against the water?
Oh, I'm sure it sucked.
Dang.
I'm sure it was pretty hardcore. Look at all that flying. Those are real people flying in the air.
Yeah.
This is non-CGI right
No,
here.
that's amazing. Amazing.
You gotta love practical effects. You know, like practical effects is a fucking it's it's an industry, it's an art form, it's a skill set in itself, you know, like the art of making these fucking effects happen. How are you gonna make this boat fly through the goddamn air? How are you gonna get them to fly through the air while the boat is flying through the air? And you only get one shot. Like the camera has to, you know, capture this perfect moment for the movie, and it's too expensive to be doing it multiple times. So a lot of times you get one shot, maybe two shots with this shit. So it's like, you got to get that shit right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's probably so much fucking headache that goes into it, you know, just like fucking just people on edge, just fucking like, let's get this shit. It's like, fuck, come on, people, get this shit right. You know, it's probably fucking just nuts.
Yep. Now they're on the beach. They're fighting.
That's the kind of stuff that makes a director a tyrant on set sometimes, you know, shit like that.
I hate sand.
I hate sand too. It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know why people like the goddamn beach so much. I don't like being in the sun because you get burnt. I don't like the sand because it gets everywhere. I don't like salt water because it tastes disgusting. Okay. I don't like seaweed. I don't like jellyfish. Okay. I don't like a whole bunch of people fucking drinking all day long, all on the beach acting crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you can be like, oh, but there's chicks in bikinis. But if all you end up seeing is fat bitches, then it's just a horrible day altogether. Like, it's just the worst.
I don't like the beach because it's too hot. It's too hot, and if I do go to the beach, it'll be during winter time. I'll keep all my shoes on.
So Nicolas Cage just impaled John Travolta with a spear gun, right?
Yes.
I wonder how quickly they would have had to take the face off of him so that he still needs to get his face off of him.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's still wearing the wrong face. He needs to get his face off of him. But I mean, the tissue's gonna fucking start to rot and die at some point after the body dies.
Yes.
It's not gonna stay alive and fresh forever. I don't know how that works, but I wonder how long he would have had before it's like, we can't use it anymore. You know, like when you get a toe cut off, they tell you to put it in ice or whatever, and you know, you take it to the hospital but at a certain point, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long he would have had to get his face.
I'm gonna say 30 minutes.
I'm gonna say 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds and that's it. You're stuck with that goddamn face forever. Okay, you just got to learn to love your son's killer. Because that's what you're going to be seeing. Dang, she actually kissed him. She actually kisses him in evil man form. That's nuts.
It's just the skin. Internally, it's her husband.
Yeah, I know, but he's wearing the face.
It's the sentiment.
I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
He's taking off the ring. He's like, okay, I'm me now. I guess it's also kind of insinuating like, okay, he's turning back.
Yeah.
He's got his wife back. He's taking his ring back.
I heard the wedding ring, it was a little hard to get off of John Travolta's finger because he had fat fingers.
Yes.
Chunky fingers.
I wouldn't say fat fingers. I would just say he had bigger hands. It was easier to put it on, but it was way harder to take it off.
Which is the way it always is with goddamn rings.
So now they're going to do the surgery. All that's like, a lot of that's fake facial hair.
Chest hair, you mean?
Chest hair.
A lot of that hair is fake.
Yes.
It's they brought in a fucking werewolf specialist to come in and put fucking hair all over his body. Nasty shit.
Yep.
You know what would be crazy?
What?
It'd be crazy if like John Travolta's character, Sean Archer, like in real life, like as him, as who he is, he has a small penis, but then like his wife tells him, it's like, hey, just so you know, Castor Troy had a really big penis. You think you can also take the penis off the body and put it on yours instead?
Look,
do you?
She's a loving wife. She would not put her husband down like that.
I'm just saying, okay? They already have the body right there. He's chopping the whole face off. He's about to get his face back, okay? He didn't need the scar. I mean, at that point, he's already making changes, okay? So if, let's say that fucking Castor Troy had a penis that was at least 250% bigger, you know? Like, I mean, like it was just way bigger, okay? And at that point, he's like, you know what? Like, my lady wants this. I'm gonna go ahead and just do it real quick. Or let's say she didn't think about it, didn't even cross her mind, okay? But He saw it when they're in the operating table and they're both butt ass naked. Okay. And he was like, Doc, I want to surprise my wife for her birthday. So go ahead and give me that penis right there.
I guess.
Or is that too difficult? Like, is that too?
I think
would that have been too difficult for these doctors? A penis transplant, like the face transplant works, but not the penis transplant.
I don't know. I mean, I would have to do some research to see if it's actually possible. But
then again, I think they can probably fucking do it. I remember there was like
they could.
There was that famous incident of a dude. He had his penis chopped off by his girlfriend or some shit like that.
In Brazil?
I don't know if it was Brazil, but the chick chopped off his penis, right? He lost it. So what they ended up doing is I think they took either one of his fingers or one of his toes, cut that bitch off, and they turned that skin into his penis.
Oh, wow.
And then afterwards, because he had already had a little bit of notoriety, I'm doing air quotations right now, because he already had a little bit of notoriety, he went ahead and became a porn star.
Oh, wow.
So somewhere out there's a porno of that dude with his finger penis.
That's weird.
Yes. So if they can do it with fingers, they should be able to do it with the full-on penis.
They should. And I mean, if they communicate well.
Which, okay, at that point, why isn't that a market? Because, okay, so you have people who get on like organ donor transplant lists, you know, it's like, I need a new kidney.
Yes.
I need a new heart, you know, I need this, I need that. Okay, you get people who get cornea transplants, you know, their eyes, okay, all kinds of shit. Why isn't there some high-end plastic surgeon facility out there that has freezers full of giant penises?
I feel like maybe it is a thing.
You think so?
I mean, it's 2026. Why would it not be? I feel like there's no reason it should. Well, because
they would have to get them from dead bodies, and they'd have to get permission from somebody. Can we take your husband's penis or your son's penis or something like that? You know, like, unless, I don't know. I mean, because people have to sign, I think, paperwork to be organ donors, okay? But that's like for certain organs. There's probably a specific list of organs that they're allowed to take and harvest, okay? But I don't know, like, none of this stuff is plastic surgery, you know, like optional kind of stuff. This is all like, you know, like life-needing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I looked it up, and it says, yes, penis transplants are real, but they are very rare, complex, and still considered experimental.
Experimental?
They're still considered experimental.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. If we can put somebody else's heart into a person, and we can even put like pig valves and pig parts into people, why haven't they advanced the science of penis transplants already?
I don't know, but it's interesting. I'm just reading a little bit more, and it says the organ comes from a deceased human donor, a cadaver.
It has
like
to.
You said. And then doctors transplant the shaft, skin, and vascular structures. Testicles are never included for ethical reasons.
What the hell is the ethics?
Meaning the recipient cannot pass on the donor's genetic material.
Oh.
So interesting.
That's interesting.
Right? So maybe that's where it's kind of like experimental, and they're like kind of like, I don't know.
Science is icky sometimes. That's what it is.
Icky and complicated.
Science is complicated and icky.
Yes.
Okay, so the movie is over. Yahida, how do you feel about Face Off, having watched it again?
I love it. I told you I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage, so he was being his classical self, and I do love seeing John Travolta being a little kooky and crazy too. So I really liked it. Aesthetically, it was very nice. I liked the music. The score was great. The actors were really good. I like it.
Face Off is a dope ass movie. It's great, and like it has forever immortalized like John Travolta and Nicolas Cage as being the same person. Yeah. So like I remember telling you, and this is a real thing, you'll see memes like, let's say it's John Travolta's birthday. Okay, people will post "Happy Birthday, John Travolta," and they'll put a picture of Nicolas Cage, you know, and vice versa. And those who have seen this movie instantly understand and appreciate the idea behind it, because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now is the time where we rate the movie ourselves. The formula is always going to be the same. 2 judges,
5 judging criterias. Me and my co-host are going to rate the movie 1 out of 10 across 5 different criterias. If I'm hosting the show myself, then my AI assistant Skynet will be my second judge. When we're done throwing out all of the scores, we'll add them all together, divide by 10, and bam, that'll be the movie's official movie buff rating. The 5 different judging criterias are as follows. First, the Pulitzer criteria. This score refers to the quality of the movie's story, plain and simple. Then, the Shakespeare criteria. This refers to how good the acting is in the movie. The Scorpion criteria. This has to do with how well a movie hooks you and pulls you in. Does it keep you engaged? The Encore criteria, one of the most important criterias of all. This refers to a movie's replay value. Just how rewatchable is it? And the most important of all, the Highlander criteria. This refers to the movie's ability and probability to live on forever. Will this movie be remembered in 10 years? Will people be quoting it in 20 years? Will people still be rewatching it 40 years later?
Let's start with the Pulitzer criteria. This refers to the quality of the movie's story. Yeah, Haida, what would you give the quality of the movie's story 1 out of 10?
Well, it's definitely a storyline that's more on the unique side. It's not very common. So I would say an 8.5.
Okay. Let's see. So action movies in general are pretty straightforward with their stories. They don't have to be complex. But this one is more unique than most. And it deserves credit for that. Like, it really does. It deserves credit for being just like out there and different and cool. And you're not going to really see anybody take this storyline and reuse it, you know?
No.
Like, it's just the way that it is. Okay. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and give it, I'll give it an 8. Fuck it. Okay, the next one, Shakespeare criteria, refers to the quality of the acting in the movie.
Nicolas, phenomenal. John, phenomenal. And the wife was all great.
Are they phenomenal? Like, do you consider the overtopness phenomenal? Or is it, at what point is it too over the top? It's kind of like Jim Carrey sometimes, you know? Like Jim Carrey, I mean, yeah, he can be a decent actor when he wants to be.
Right.
But sometimes he's too crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
So at what point are you like, okay, yes, he's a good comedic actor, but he's also too fucking nuts. Like, he's too nuts. You know, like if you compare him to, like, let's say another great comedic actor like John Candy, you know, like he's just so much over the top. And then there's people who ride the line. So like Eddie Murphy, an amazing comedic actor for the first half of his career. And then he started getting over the top kooky.
Yeah.
You know, with the whole Nutty Professor, fucking, you know, just Dr. Dolittle, crazy, like just over the topness. Okay. And that's when I stopped liking him. So this isn't comedy, this is action, but it's mainly Castor Troy that's over the top. It's just that one character, but both of them play the character.
Yes.
So they're both over the top. So I don't know. What do you like? I guess what would you 1 out of 10? It's your score.
For me, it would be 8.5 as well.
God damn. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say it is better than average. I don't think it's very good. I'm gonna say pretty good. So 7.
7.
Next one, the Scorpion criteria. This refers to the movie's ability to hook you and suck you in. What would you give it 1 out of 10?
I'm gonna go with a 6.5, just because it's predictable. I mean, you know what's gonna happen. So I feel like even if I were just to watch this movie, be like halfway through, I'd be like, oh, okay. And I got busy. It'd take me a while to go back and finish it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Like it's entertaining. It hooks me in pretty good. I mean, it is a little long. The movie was over 2 hours.
That's another thing too. Yeah.
It was a little long. So that can kind of work against a movie sometimes, depending on how good the movie is. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. The encore criteria refers to the movie's replay value. 1 out of 10. What would you give it?
I would say a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't like rewatching movies, do you?
I don't. And like, it takes a lot for me to actually consider rewatching a movie. Like this one, I've seen it and I'm good. It's actually the second time I've seen it.
Gotcha. Let's see. Rewatchable. It's entertaining, but it's not like an amazing story that always captivates me every time. You know, like it's I could literally pause and just not watch it. Like, let's say I have to leave the house, I have to go somewhere, and if I come home, it's 50-50 whether or not I need to finish it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas let's say it's, I don't know, like The Green Mile, it's like, oh, I need to finish this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the replay value, it's decent. I'll watch it, but I don't have to watch it. I'm gonna say a 6. Highlander refers to the movie's ability to and probability to live on forever.
To live on forever.
Forever.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I'm going to say a 4.
A 4?
A 4. That's pretty low, but I feel like eventually it's gonna age out.
I don't know. I don't think it will. Like, it's not gonna be, not everybody's not gonna talk about it all the time forever. You know, like they do maybe, I don't know, a Marvel movie or whatever. But John Travolta is a very popular actor. Nicolas Cage is a very popular actor. This is a movie that had both of them in it. It's a popular action movie. It's very high on the list of like their best movies in a lot of people's minds. So just unless you just completely forget about John Travolta and you completely forget about Nicolas Cage, it's hard to forget about this movie because it's a big part of their filmography.
That's true. Can I change my answer?
What's your answer then?
A 6. I didn't think about it like that.
I am going to give it, part of me wants to say 7. Part of me wants to say 6.5. I'm going to give it a 6.5. Okay, so when we take all those numbers and we add those bitches together, we get 69. You divide that by 10, and that gives us a score of 6.9. All right, so Face Off gets a 6.9. That's its score. This is the 14th movie that we have done a podcast on, and right now that puts it at spot number 11. So it is sitting right above Bloodsport, which is at 6.47. Don't really know how I feel about that because I think I like Bloodsport more than I like Face Off. But it's right underneath Constantine. And overall, I don't really have a problem with saying that Constantine is a better movie than Face Off. Constantine's pretty good.
It is.
You know, but you know, Bloodsport's can be some people consider it a pretty cheesy movie overall. So Face Off is a more true, like, you know, high budget action movie. Bloodsport is more of a cult classic. It's a Van Damme vehicle. I don't know. They're pretty close, you know. I guess it just depends on what flavor you prefer overall.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to throw out there about Face Off?
I don't think so. I'm just a big Nicolas Cage fan, so I was happy while watching this.
Nicolas Cage is awesome. John Travolta is awesome. And it is always awesome to get them in a movie together where they are shooting at each other in the face. Thanks for listening to this episode of Movie Buffs, where we got to revisit Face Off from 1997. It was a badass movie. Peace out, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.